Find those travels as you can, as the song says. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Goglings, Gogletites, Gogorifics, Gog people. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to Pen and Pixels. It is episode 80 of Pen and Pixels, as we hit that nice even number. Episode 80 of Pen and Pixels here at GOG.com, which runs every Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. I am your host, Arvin Elleron, and I want to remind everybody about a couple of things to get things started with the channel. If you haven't done so already, please consider following the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. A lot of cool stuff that you can get there. And please also check us out individually on our individual channels. We have a bunch of stuff going on over at our channels, like Patreons and subscription systems and all that kind of good stuff. So please make sure to check out all of the streamers that stream for you guys here over at GOG on their individual channels as well. Today we are continuing work with Torment. We last week were doing some Dungeons & Dragons finally with the GOG stream team, which was a lot of fun. This week we get back to Torment as I continue my playthrough of the game, which is still going to take a while, but I do know that after this game is over, I'll be moving on to Star Trek Judgment Rights, which will bring me back full circle, because the first game that I streamed on this show over a year ago now was Star Trek 25th Anniversary, so that's going to be cool to kind of get back to that. But first, we have some Torment to get through. One thing I want to mention very quickly, and let me get rid of this and turn on this. There we go. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. Hi, all. Hello, Darth Sisu. Hello, Christensen. Hello, Darth. I said Darth Sisu already. Hello. Hello, Inquisitor. Hello, everybody. One thing that I want to mention very quickly is, and I'll probably talk about this again next week, is that I have an important charity event. Why is my camera not on center? Please be on center, camera. There we go. I apologize, by the way, for how bright everything is, but you know the deal. It gets bright, and then it'll get less bright as time goes on, and then I'll have to turn on the lights. But anyway, this is with all the lights off and the blinds closed, but we still get the light of heaven kind of pouring through. So, but I want to talk just very briefly about this, that thing that's right over the face. This is a special charity event, which I'm doing on my channel, which is called ARVCon. We started this actually a couple of years ago to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. This is a personal thing for me. I lost my mother to breast cancer 7 years ago now, over 7 years ago now. It was not a pleasant experience to watch her go through it, and anyone who has been affected by this, and there's far too many of us, know what I'm talking about. I lost dogs to this, family members to this, friends to this, and a lot of other people that I've spoken to were in the same boat. So the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, which has been around for a long time, funds young, promising researchers who are doing work on various cancer treatments and cures and detection protocols, and have done exceptionally well in getting that done. They've actually managed to get a lot of people who have ended up as prize laureates, Nobel laureates in some cases. So they've really done extraordinary work, and the vast, overwhelming majority of the money that goes to them goes directly to the work. So there's very low overhead as well. So I'm a big fan of them. 2 years ago, we raised about $500 for the cause. Last year, during ARVCon, we raised over $1,200. This year, it's $2,000 or bust. So I really want to be able to do that, and we got a big event that's lined up. My voiceover team, this will be happening by a week from this Friday. My voiceover team, the Our Vocalists, will be doing a special radio play event Friday night. Saturday, we will have a marathon session by yours truly. Then we will have a concert with musical guests. Saturday night, we will have a special open legend event with a bunch of people. Ryan Shaples from HyperRPG, Brian Feister, who is the creator of Open Legend, Mike Selinker, who's the creator of the Pathfinder Adventure card game and a game designer, and Stephen Lumpkin, some of you might know, Silent Osiris on Twitch, who was the DM for Roleplay West Marches, and just a bunch of different people like that, and details about that are available elsewhere. And then Sunday, will be my Infinity and Beyond regular D&D campaign, followed with a couple of little surprises put it there as well. So we've got a lot of stuff planned all that weekend, and again, the goal is to try to raise a good amount of money for the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation. And yes, Duskalta, you have picked it up. If I increase this a bit, we have 5 corporate sponsors this year. 3 Pound Games, which is the company run by Colin McComb. If you're thinking to yourself, that sounds familiar, that's because Colin McComb, of course, is largely responsible for the game you're about to to see me play Torment. So 3 Pound Games has gotten on board. Harebrained Schemes, Mitch Gittleman and the guys have been kind enough to support us with giveaways, game code giveaways that they'll be doing and things like that. Open Legend is sponsoring us efficiently. Tin Man Games, which are the folks that do the Fighting Fantasy game book to Android and iOS conversions. Those people are great too. And last but certainly not least, my publisher, the Ed Greenwood Group, is sponsoring this as well. So we've got 5 corporate sponsors. We got a ton of people who are a part of this. I've been tweeting about it, and I will continue to do more of it. And now I will shut up about it, but it is something that, since you guys watch me on here, and many of you are crossover people that watch me on my channel as well, I wanted to let you guys know about it, and it's all for a good cause. That starts again a week from this Friday, May 26th. It will start at around 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and it will run till about 10:30, 11 o'clock on Friday. Saturday, we get started about noon Eastern, and we finish up at about midnight Eastern. And then Sunday, we get started about noon Eastern, and we wrap up at about 8 p.m. Eastern. So a lot of events going on. But again, it is all to support a very good cause. So I hope you guys will mark it on your calendar if you can and stop by, because it's important. Okay, with that said, the time has come, people, to get into some Torment. And so without further ado, let's do it. Also, hi, Amberzine. Yes, I am in heaven. I come to you from heaven. And now we leave here. Okay. I believe at the very end, I got a lot done last time, and I believe at the very end I was just running to get some other stuff done. Like right at the end of it, I was kind of zipping to someplace else, so I'll see if I can kind of catch up and remember what it was I was doing. Okay. Let's take a look at that journal, shall we? Oh yeah, we've only got 6 billion quests. That's fine. Okay, let's see. So, right. We have to return to Mapper in the Underbelly, because now we know what we found. Oh, right. He wanted me to tell him about where the Changing God Sanctuary is, and I know where it is. That's good. Let's see. We have to find women in Sagus Cliffs who are being transformed into copies of the Ghostly Woman. I haven't found that yet. Eyes of the Adversary. Fifth eye for any signs of an adversary's presence. That's right. There's still people. There's someone at the there's somebody at the fifth eye that is an adversary or is the adversary, but I haven't been able to track down who it is yet, so we will see. Let's see. Foreman's Brood. That's the kill the robot to make his children come alive, which is not going to be fun to do. Then we've got Settle the Debt between Aratus and Master Renio. And so I have to find the backing of someone influential, go back to the council clerk and tell them about it, so that's going to be a joy. Let's see. The airship. The anechoic lazaret. I don't believe I've actually gotten into the anechoic lazaret yet. Sorrow's Prey. That's the Dendra or her chapel. So I need to go to the Underbelly for that. And Wayward Son. And I have to help him. Let's see. Oh, yes. Crooked Queek. So I need to find Piquo, and then talk to him about Crooked Queek. So that's what I have to do. I have to go to find Piquo. So let's do that. Help Piquo decide what to do. And that's Cliff's Edge. All right, so let's get to Cliff's Edge. Let's do it.
Of course we can help. Right off?
Gather your party before venturing. So how's everyone doing today, ladies and gentlemen? I hope everyone had fun watching some Dungeon Keeper. I liked Dungeon Keeper back in the day quite a bit.
Sure.
And those are always fun streams of Memories in 8-bit to watch. Okay, let's see if this is going to have enough information to give them yet. Save. Alright, people. You're back. Good. I want to help you decide what to do with that money. Let's see. I talked to Crooked Queek. She misses you. That's where you went? That's what you think will help me? I left them for a reason. I told you why. I miss her too. But I'm not going back. Not ever. She doesn't need me, and there's no way I'd go back for anything else. 2 people can earn money easier than 1. I want this persuasion working. Do not want to fail.
I'll remember that.
I hadn't thought of that. When I left, I was just a kid. Now I can teach her where the work is. We can save up twice as much money in half the time. Thank you for everything you've done. Couldn't have been easy. Nope, it wasn't. Success. All right. Lovely. So now I can talk to Mother Temaz and be like, hey, I saved your kid from doing something dumb. That's how I roll. That's how I roll, Mother Temaz. Oh, no wonder there's no chat going on, because my chat's frozen. Boy, this has been an absolutely delightful day for tech. Can I just say? What a delightful day this has been. Man, I really do love tech, don't you? Ugh, God, is that infuriating. All right, well... Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I wondered why everybody was so silent. Every time I do that, I realize it's my chat is broken. I didn't have my afternoon stream today because my headphones wouldn't work. The computer didn't recognize that they were plugged in. It took me 2 hours to troubleshoot that. Because clearly I had nothing else to do with my time, right? But to do that. Ugh, infuriating. All right, so give me a second. I will get this recaptured. Love chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love how I have to keep redoing it. It's just great. There we go. Yeah, so I apologize. Oh, look at all those people that people are saying. Dungeon Keeper's great. Confused Pen and Pixels. Thought it was D&D. Did I stream a channel earlier? Are you using BTTV? Yes, I'm using BTTV. Tell me your IT troubles. Wouldn't be the same without at least one crash of Chad. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Dragon. I love you guys too. I love you guys too. Yeah, the problem is just that I have not been able to get my chat functional, get a actual functional chat for a long time now, and I don't know why, and it's frustrating the absolute hell out of me. And it's just, it is what it is, you know? It's frustrating, and I can't do anything about it because every time I try, something else breaks. So hopefully, you know, I mean, I had a lot of trouble earlier on trying to get my headphones to recognize. I got that fixed, fortunately, thanks to one of my regulars, Trollware, who was a very, very helpful person. And so I was able to get it fixed. But I think in the process of doing that, if I try to run Chrome along with literally any chat program, eventually it will just crash and doesn't load chat or anything else. So BTTV has been consistently crashing. Yeah, it might be that crit, but I don't know. I think this I think predates any problem with Better TTV. I think there's just some issue in general. But yeah, Better TTV has not been doing super great, but I don't know. Anyway, there we go. I can see you all. Wonderful. So sorry for those of you who were talking and wondering why I wasn't responding to you. I thought you were all being really silenced, and I'm like, wow, that was not the case. All right, I need to talk to you about Pico. Aye? What of him? I've solved his problem. Have you? Mayhap you did. The lad slaved to earn that money. Mayhap he and that girl will pull their shins and escape the underbelly together. Or maybe they'll die there, hand in hand. I know you did what you thought was right. Clan can be a comfort, though they're off on a tangle of their own. What's up, Deroyne? How are you, man? The lad scarcely needs more. Take the call, lad. Make it earned it. Off with you. You've done enough here. Okay, now I get to see what this thing is. So that is +2 might pool. Use the membrane to craft the shield, transparent and thin, but surprisingly tough. Hurry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, really? That's lame. Why can't I... Man, if it was just a hand crossbow... This was just a hand crossbow, we wouldn't have this problem. What? This is also two... Oh, two-handed. Damn, man. You're gonna tell me that's two-handed also, right? We're giving you the cold shoulder, don't ask us why. Oh, big boss. Good, alright, good. So that works. So you can still equip those things. That's good. Okay. Right, so I have this awesome item, which I can't use, which is only usable by me, but I can't use it because I am a ranged person. Oh well. It's okay. It's still worth it. Alrighty, so now I got all the quests onto one page. Okay, so Dendra Herd Capital. But I think I'm going to go back and continue this. So I'm going to go on to Mapper in the Underbelly is what I'm going to do. Let's return to Mapper in the Underbelly and tell them what we know. Because there's a couple of other quests down there that we have to do anyway. Now it's time to lurk. Just, damn it! No, it's one of those things, like, you know, I'm like, oh, this is cool, you know, most of the time, people are like, you know, we're chatting and talking. Right. Then I look over and it's just silence, and I'm like, why is there still silence? Now I know. Although this could be a game that I could imagine people would be contemplative sometimes, right? Like, I don't know if anyone was watching the Mr. Rogers Twitch channel, which is, of course, you know, basically the Bob Ross experience again. But it's been interesting to watch chat's reaction. And there have definitely been times where chat has been kind of like cringe and stuff like that. But a lot of times chat's like, I will cut you if you say something bad about Mr. Rogers. Like they do not joke around. I'm not supposed to be a Mapper. There he is. There's somewhere around there. Have you found it yet? Do you see with new eyes? I discovered the location of the... Oh, my voice is being drowned out by the game's sound effects? Oh. I can fix that. Fix that right now. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Why is that loud? Okay, that should be a little bit better for my mic. Let me turn down there. Let me turn down the sound effects. Okay, how's that? Is that better? It's not a waterfall. It's actually a rocket fuel, a rocket engine. Is that better? Success? Good, bad, indifferent? Is that better? Is that better sound-wise? Let's say you move the map to the rocket fuel first. There's your full-blown... Okay. I'm speaking over the rocket. Don't go chasing rocket fuel. Stay close to the streams and the, I don't know, jetpacks you're used to. Blah, 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 blah. How's that? Maybe better? Because I need to be louder than that, so if I'm not loud enough, you guys tell me. Also up my own volume. A little better, but slightly more. All right. Let's change that a bit. Okay. How's that? How's that? Better? Okay. How's that? I want to make sure that you guys can hear it. I just, you know, but I would like to be heard also. It's kind of a streaming thing. You like to be able to be heard. Is that better? Definitely better, but yes, a louder R. Okay, how's that? Better? Yes? I also don't want to blow you guys away, though. So I don't want to be like, what is going on, chat? Talk to me! I don't want to be like, ladies and gentlemen! I don't want to overdo it, either. Alright, better? Good? Lovely. Thank you, guys. Okay, where was I? I was talking to Mapper. I discovered the location of the Changing God's sanctuary. Oh, thanks, Big Boss. Tell me about it. As you speak, Mapper stares at the exposed patch of flesh on his arm. New lines etch into his skin, unfurling themselves across the space. He smiles tightly and shifts in his seat. Yes. Yes! Here, in the void beneath the city. Well, what's this in the mural? He looks more closely at his arm and recoils. Ah, gods, it's terrifying, even from here. I don't envy you seeing that thing, friend. No, not at all. Anyway, I owe you a map, don't I? The White Death is hiding in a place called the Cave of Last Words. It's an old thieves' bolt hole. They say Sheila herself used it, but they don't say where it is. Persistence pays, though. That's always been my watchword.
I'll remember that.
There's one way to get to it through the caravanserai, but it's sealed tight, and I never found a way in. But you can get there from the underground. The Stika know. They dug there. They can dig there again. I can tell you what's been in the Stika lair. Are you joking? Can you really? Tell me. The Stika lair. Yes, like I was there. That smell. Did you notice the smell in their lair? Like lightning and dust. My thanks to you. You've done right by me. Okay, farewell. Alrighty.
Sure it's safe.
Now let's go talk to the Stika. My friend, I need you to take me to the caravanserai. You and I are bros, so I need you to take me. Shket. Egg friend. Stika dig deep like promise. Rocknet is good there. But Chicket promised. Stika move. You may want travel? Can you take me someplace under the city? Friend to Stika. Yes, no pay for you. Free. I'm looking for a way into a place called the Cave of Last Words. He's close to surface at top of city. Took another human there once. Check to travel where egg friend want. We go. I'm an egg friend, see. I'm a friend of eggs. Except when I eat the eggs. Especially like scrambled. But
Who are you?
what the hell? Oh, it's the White Death. This woman's skin is white, the color of alabaster or fresh ivory. Flat black eyes surrounded by sharply pointed features stare coldly at you. She wears jet black hair cut straight at the shoulders. Her clothes are functional and drab. Her cloak is fastened by a necklace of 5 canisters, each of different shape. She turns a black device over and over in her hands.
Where did you come from? How did you know where to find me?
Well, did I invite him here? No, I wouldn't have done that. I think she and Calistiga? I never remember. I think it's Calistege. I think she and Calistege would get along just fine. Is it really that important to know how I found... Let's see. I followed your trail. Skist. I thought I'd covered it. I thought I'd covered my tracks. I thought... Fine. You wanted to find me? You found me. More's the pity. So now it's time to talk. Wait, are you asking the questions here? Or am I? How new are you? What were the circumstances of your birth? When did you happen? I was born as my body fell from an exploding moon. Ha! That bastard of a creator always finds a way to abandon us at the worst possible moment. Have you heard the stories of Tuck or Innifair yet? You should. What of them? If you think you can overpower me with mortals, you're mistaken. Sounds just like her father. What did you say? You're trespassing in my home, you know. Coming with a cast-off makes you more suspicious, not the other way around. Trust me, we mean no harm. I don't trust you. That's the problem. But fine. Disemboweling you would just be a waste of time for me anyway. So what do you want from me? And notice already it's already gotten dark in my room, so hold on a second. All right. Now, if the sun comes back, I'm just going to be this massive white glare, so hopefully that won't be the case. But we will see. Let's see. Why are you hiding down here? I'm not hiding. I'm strategizing, planning. Why would someone live voluntarily in a place like this? This is where I stay. It's a bolt hole. Always has been for those who know how to find it. Even Sheila hid there, they say. What are you planning? Oh, were you part of my plan? You weren't. It's not your business. What can you tell me of other cast-offs? Self-absorbed, treacherous, leave a trail of misery and suffering. Shall I continue? Also powerful, scheming, ambitious. But you want names, don't you? You won't get them from me, though. Not now. I remember Adaris, and I remember the First, and I remember Tash. And I killed Tash for what he did to me, for the hole he cut in my memory, but that hole grew and grew, and... This is more than you need to know. They're bastards, all of them. You as well. I heard you might know who can repair a device I found in the reef, something called a resonance chamber. The resonance... Ah... Yes, of course you would have hit it there. I know who can help you. Or did. It slips away. My mind has holes in it. Tash took a rusty scalpel to my thoughts, my memories. I can't...
I'll remember that.
No, no. You must do something for me. This is Tash's marecaster. I want you to enter his mare and find out what you can about the jock. I'm convinced that's the key. I like when she gives you a thing. This is Tashi's marecaster. I want you to enter his mare and find out what you can about the jock. I love when there's a sentence that only the connecting words make sense. You're like, marecaster, mare, jock. I'm like, I have no idea what any of those things are. So let's take those one by one. What is a marecaster? Ha! Am I really the first one to say the word to you? Oh, you're in for a surprise, dear brother. Every cast-off has one, just like every cast-off has this. No one knows what they're for. Adiris used to think they were a byproduct of the transfer process, just like us. Hold on now. All right, making sure. I'm getting now paranoid about chat, about the chat window. Every cast-off has one, just like every cast-off has this. No one knows what they're for. Adiris used to think they were a byproduct of the transfer process, just like us. Wherever they came from, they can be used like a kind of temporal viewer. You relive an event in the life of the cast-off where a marecaster is. That event is called a mare. Can a marecaster be used to spy on other cast-offs? Not spy, more like seeing pictures of their past, like watching them from inside their minds at times when they burned or raged or changed, when their life was at a moment of flux. Why can't you enter the mare? Don't you think I've tried? Do you think I would waste my time with a newborn, a thief who steals into my home, if there were any chance I could do this myself? I try and my mind fills with static, like I'm talking to a Murden. Only it slashes and stabs and burns me, and I can't. It'll only make things worse. Maybe it has already. Why am I angry? Did you... No. It'll be all right. Just find the damn jock and I'll tell you whatever you need to know. Okay, what is a jock? You don't know? I thought it was a common instrument. No, it might not be so much anymore. One of the curses of a long life. Fashions come and go before you even know how they exist. Probably easier just to let them go or make new ones of your own like some of the other cast-offs. What is this now? Oh my god, why? Well, for some reason I can't open that. I don't know why. There we go. Oh, users being unexpectedly logged out. Oh, really? That happened? That sucks, dude. Sorry. No, not sorry. You should know this. You should know about things. History. That's what life is. Knowing and doing. Matkina, you need to focus. Tell him what he needs. A jock is an ancient woodwind, and this one was kept in a sealed cave behind massive doors from a prior world. It had powers, but I can't remember what those powers were. If the jock is a key, what does it unlock? If I knew that, I wouldn't need your help, would I? You stole that memory from me, all right? If you can find it for me, it will all come back. All of it. How do I enter a mare? Hold the marecaster. You'll feel the tug immediately. Don't resist. Empty your mind and let the tides pull you into the marecaster. Then just watch him. Watch for the jock. When you see what he's done with it, pull your mind away from Tash's and tell me what you saw. Oh, and don't try to change anything. Why shouldn't I try to change anything in the mare? What did you mean by that? Nothing serious. It's not like you can change the past, but I need you to learn a specific piece of information. If you change something, then you might go the wrong way. Okay? I'll do it. I'll enter the mare from you. Do it. Find the jock. Bring me my answers. All right. Here we go into the past, people. Everything is wrong. Tasha's body, yours now, clings like a wet cloak. The world is too bright for nighttime. Everything is too clear, distances too close, edges too sharp. Memories like blood flies buzz about your head, whizzing away before you can catch them. Hard-ridden Aneen heave their flanks and huff behind you. Like you, they've gone too long without rest. And there's Metkina. A much newer Metkina, as drawn by a pandering portraitist, too soft, too fresh, too pretty. All wrong. On the waste you see the light of campfires, and in the humble village before you a bigger, brighter fire burns. It's a pyre. Inside, a body that's too large burns too slowly. Greasy coils of smoke rise into the night. Villagers circle the bonfire, wailing and shaking. The headman's rough voice continues the ritual. From exile you are released. Among the mourners, some echo, You are released. He throws a handful of powder into the fire, metal salts perhaps, and a spray of shining embers rises into the night, mostly gold, some green, some purple. From wrath you are released. They echo him. As the embers float out toward the plains and fade among the stars and campfires, you hear Metkina whisper reverently, You are released. All right, let me stare at the distant campfires and try to see what they are. Nice. I wanted to save some if I could. You squint your unnatural eyes and focus until the pyre, the village, everything else fades away. At last the blurry campfires resolve into something crisper, and you see the faint shadows of men around them, men in long coats and broad hats, painstakingly cleaning their jezzails and daggers. There are perhaps 100 of them. Metkina sees you staring and grunts. Sand knights. From her tone, it's obvious that they're no friends of hers. Or yours. I'm trying to remember who I am and why I'm here. The memories buzz, and in the sound are flickers of meaning. This body is, you are, Tosh. You're a soldier under the command of someone named Paj Reckon. Sounds like a Star Wars name. You're a cast-off who can use the tides to destroy memories. You were sent here for something. An object, but exactly what you can't recall. There's something more to it, something insistent, important, and endlessly elusive. No matter how hard you try, it becomes no clearer. What's going on here, Metkina? Metkina answers without looking your way. Her eyes are locked on the fire and the flesh inside it. It's what they do when one of the hill people dies. Never a burial, always upward. Plains people like me, we can bring kindling and weep, but we're forbidden to join the chant. After a pause, she adds, I never got used to the smell of it, even when they burnt juniper or balsam. It's worst at the end. She shrugs. When it's done, there's no more wailing. For them, it really is a release. She looks thoughtful, but says no more. Metkina, listen to me. We need to find the jock and protect your memories. Find the what? Metkina stares at you dumbfounded, and then she shakes her head. Have a little respect, Tosh. This is my home. We're here to save people I've known for years. A moment later, she adds, Not to mention the only danger to memories around here is you, Tosh. Try your tidal surge on me, and I'll burn those fancy eyes right out of your skull. There's a smile on her face, like this isn't the first time Tosh has teased her or that she's promised a grisly fate in response. Metkina, this isn't a joke. You sent me here. Now there's no laughter in her hard glare, and for a moment she truly looks like the woman who sent you here. Enough, Tosh, she hisses. They're mourning a murdered man over there. And him? She points to the headman. He as good as raised me. I know these people. This means something to me, even if the whole world and everything wrong with it is just a barking joke to you. She looks away from you and back into the pyre. All right, let me wait until it's finished because I don't want to change things, as she said. As the body burns and the mourners chant, you wait in the shadows at the edge of the village. At last the corpse is consumed and the headman gives a final cry. To the distant dark you are released. The villagers echo him, then drift away, leaving him alone beside the smoldering pyre. Metkina, with a hiss and a gesture, leads you over. He sniffs the air at the sound of your approach and with a broad smile calls out, Kina! Actually, Kaina! His eyes are large, milky marbles. He puts hands on her shoulders. You return in unpleasant times. She touches his cheek. I return because the times are unpleasant, Neng. Without another word, the three of you leave from the fire and enter Neng's dark hut. Neng's home is humble and small, hardly furnished and wholly undecorated. On entering, he lowers his weary bulk onto a hassock and gestures towards similar cushions for you and Matkaina, then begins without preamble. They hung him from a tree. Old Garib. Took their daggers to him. Called it pruning. Blind to others' expressions, he has become oblivious to his own, and he wears his pain and anger nakedly. With a grunt, he continues. They sent him home by skimmer, along with a compact they'd made to the Plains people. He waves at the crumpled sheet of paper on the floor. Tick read it to me. They've promised to put an end to our menace, Kina. He shakes his head. Why? We've always paid the blood price for whatever harm we've done. You know that. They know that. Yes, Matkaina says softly. But the Sand Knights won't take shins. You know that. He grunts. The militia's here to help, Neng. You are who we stand for. The small, the threatened, the hunted. That's who we are too. My fault. I was reading the wrong voice there. She takes his hand. Come away. If you tell the knights you're going, they won't force a fight. They have bigger battles ahead of them, believe me. This is our place, Kina. Paj reckon will give you a home. Trust her. Neng is silent. Let's read the crumpled note. You unfold the compact sent by the Sand Knights. The writing is neat, plain, small, and seems to go on in tightly stacked lines. In essence, it is a vow to safeguard the villages and towns of the Veraxulian waste from the menace in Colne Village. The knights promise that they will undertake steps to assure that the killers in Colne Village never harm anyone again. Extermination is never mentioned, merely implied. Beneath the Knight Marshal's chop are signatures from various burghers, mayors, and elders of towns and villages on the waste. The knights ask nothing in return from them. The signatures vow nothing. They merely endorse, justifying whatever the knights undertake. The thing is, I don't like that persuasion option because I don't want to say, like, your hill is nothing special. I don't want him to get slaughtered. Let's trust Kaina. Neng cocks his wide head. Why would I doubt her? He smiles. There was a plains child, a beautiful boy. Wandered too far into the waste and was gone. We all gave him up. But Kaina? He puts his hand on her shoulder. She left that night with a knife and a lamp and a rope. Just said, I'll bring him back. Hardly spoke back then, our Kaina. She sighs. Made things easier. Week later, she comes back, the boy riding her shoulders, a string of Chirag heads dragging behind her. When she speaks, I trust. But even if Paj Reckon sets land aside for us, we can't just leave. It's not so simple. Plains people can't understand. How is it that we can't understand? For a long moment, Neng turns his blind gaze back and forth between you and Matkaina. Oh yeah, Kyoto, yeah. What it means to be a hill person, he says at last. What it's like to wrap yourself in chains every day. But maybe I'm just an old fool. You're not the Kaina who left, and you, stranger, you're soldiers. Maybe you've started to understand what it's like to hold yourself back. Matkaina's answer is sharp. Neng, all my life I've had to restrain myself. But not in the militia. It's freedom, Neng. The freedom of knowing that what you're doing is right, and so you don't need to hold back. The old man shrugs. Then I was right. You can't understand. All right, persuasion. The only time it's too late to start a new life is when you're dead. Give your people a chance to survive. Critical success. Yeah, stat pool's restored. That's what I'm talking about. Critical success. You're right. And in fact, you've convinced me to change everything I've ever believed. I'm so convinced by your rhetoric that I can see again. And I've reversed an age by 30 years. Thank you, and please take everything the village has to offer, plus this airship and an instant win card. That's the critical success. Thanks. You're right, of course, even if you've got the manners of a marauder. But we can't go without the jock. The what? Metkina asks. Up the hill behind the gate. Yeah, oh yeah, it's a critical hit, yep. The cave's been sealed for generations. Inside is the jock. It's what helps us keep our worst instincts inside. If we leave it song... After a pause, he leans in and whispers in Metkina's ear. Now, he says, you alone of the plains people know how to open the gate. You work your way up the terraced hillside, leaving Neng to make his case to his people. In the distance, you see that the Sand Knights are on the move, riding hard toward Colne Village. Neng will need to make his case to them, too. When you arrive at the gate and its huge ancient gateway, Metkina shakes her head. For years I wondered about this, she says. The hill people tell a fable that the first men and women came out of here. They said the gate would only open when it was time for people to disappear. She shrugs. One way to keep kids from poking around and disturbing the jock, I guess. Something she said stirs your mind, and your memories jingle like a wind chime. You dredge up the memory. Nice. At once, a glaring light shines over your mission, as painful as it is revealing. You're not here to help Paj Reckon save Colne Village. You're here to help Paj destroy it. She knew the villagers' secret, knew about the jock. Most importantly, she knew the Sand Knights would come, knew about their compact. The plan isn't to take the villagers out of the Knights' way. In fact, it depends on causing the very battle Metkina promised would be averted. When the Knights arrive, Paj will destroy the jock, forcing the hill people into their feral state, unleashing them upon the Knights, weakening one of the militia's foes. And Paj is coming in person to see that all goes right. Metkina, we can't open that gate. Paj Reckon is planning to destroy the jock, and with it the entire village. You hurriedly relate your memory of Paj's plot, how she and an armed band will be waiting to take the jock and destroy it, in order to unleash the Teratomorphs upon the Sand Knights in a living trap. At a certain level, the betrayal is so audacious, the plot so callous that it's unbelievable. And at first, Metkina is incredulous. But then her face hardens. Something's changed in you, Tash, for the better. You care. She takes you hand. You hand? Thank you. Then she scans the horizon for Paj, and so do you, but there's no sign of her. We need to get as far away as we can, she says decisively. Draw Paj off. Buy Neng time to negotiate with the Sand Knights, and keep them from the jock. You're barely 100 meters up the hillside before a deafening shriek fills the air and 7 people seem to drop out of the sky. One of them is a woman you know immediately to be Paj Reckon. The others must be her bodyguard, tattooed cast-offs with drab armor, mismatched weapons, and the languid readiness of predators. Despite the surprise, Metkina flings a knife before they even hit the ground, and it slips between the plates in one glaive's armor. She's throwing another when a beam of light envelops her, trapping her in a field of energy. As Metkina thrashes about, their attention is clearly focused on her, giving you an opening, slight as it may be. I'm going to try to reason with them. I'm not going to run for their life. You barely have a chance to open your mouth before one of the bodyguards steps forward with preternatural speed and buries her fist in your gut. As you fall to your knees, she tops it off with a kick to the face. Ow! While your head swims, she flips you over, disarms you, and hoists you back to your feet. Though both of you are subdued, Paj hardly seems happy. I don't know what game you're playing, Tash, she warns. And I don't particularly care. I just want the jock. Tell me how to open the cave and we'll go from there. I'll kind of go and then we'll talk. Mislead her about how to get into the cave. You quickly gin up a series of steps, and for the moment, Paj believes you. She nods to one of her bodyguards, who sets off toward the cave to test your methods. A few minutes later, he returns and shakes his head. Paj sighs and lifts a finger. Before you react, you're sliced open by another bodyguard. Oh, god damn it. Well, that worked. Oh, it's Metkina? Okay. As you fall to the ground, you watch them fling Metkina over the cliff. Still wrapped in her energy field, she can't even scream. Paj gives you a last annoyed glance, then leads the others away. You cannot see where they go. Darkness gathers around your vision, and a sound like crashing waves fill your ears. Then you slough off Tasha's body, Tasha's mind, and all goes black. Well, damn it, that didn't work. As your consciousness rises from the shadow of the mirror, something clicks in your mind. Something has changed deep inside you, but what? Matkina stares at you, the shock painfully obvious in her face. What did you do? I remember Tosh cutting me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to the ground, tearing up my history with his tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tosh didn't do it. He could have, but he didn't. He tried, but didn't. He didn't touch me, didn't violate me. But I remember his mind pushing at me, but no. The two strands of memory, this is pulling me apart. No, it's pulling me back together. I remember now. That hole it's almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. I don't know if you meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. You asked about the resonance chamber. I know it. Mazov's the guy you want. He can fix anything. He might have even helped design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the cast-off sanctuary, Mile Avist. There's a cast-off sanctuary? It's a sanctum, a refuge created by the First and our sire. It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Personally, I don't think anywhere is safe from the sorrow, not even that place. Great. Where can I find Mile Avist? Word of caution. They won't believe you in Mile Avist. They'll treat you like they treat every new cast-off, as a pawn in their games with each other. Look out for that. You're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance is a secret known only to our kind. Here. She points to a spot on the map many kilometers to the northeast of Sagas Cliffs. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There's a hidden portal in the necropolis. Also memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431, 3431, down on a slip of paper, holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, then crumples it in her hand. It's a code. It'll make sense when you get to the necropolis. You'll need an airship to get to the valley. The ladder over there leads up to the caravanserai. You should be able to hire a ship without too much difficulty. Thank you. Could I ask some other questions? Nice. Fine. What do you want? What's the story with you and the other cast-offs? You were in the mare. You saw what happened. I wanted to make a difference, and they pissed on my hopes. After that debacle, I killed Tosh and fell out with the rest of them. The conflict between the First and the changing gods swallows all our siblings one way or another. I didn't want that. I wanted to make my own way. They weren't pleased, and here I am. No worse for the lack of their company. Who's the first cast-off? She was, or she claimed to be. She's dead now. She said she'd fight for all of us. They say she was the one who founded Mile Avist for our sakes. Most of our siblings remember her as a hero. Most of them never actually knew her. She was driven, I'll give her that. Even with her decaying body, with all its hurts and wounds, she found masks to cover herself and the strength not to hurt, and she kept plowing on. What can you tell me about the changing god? Brilliant, charming, and ruthlessly self-centered. More blood on his hands than I'll ever have. Legend says he wiped out the Dabat. A nearly complete genocide. He left one alive as an object lesson, one of their generals enslaved in the city to teach his enemies not to cross him. How many cast-offs are there, anyway? Hundreds? Who knows? Supposedly the changing god went to other worlds, bent time and space, slipped through dimensions, and he always had his spare bodies with him. There could be thousands, millions, for all I know. What can you tell me about this place? This is the Cave of Last Words. It was a thieves' hole until the tunnel leading in collapsed. 500-600 years ago, it was where the scum of the city would slip away from the city guard. Before there were levies, before the slave families, the truly desperate lawbreakers fled here when they had no other options. That's the suicide tunnel. The words on the cave walls, those are the final words of people with nothing left to lose, etched into the bedrock of the city, burned in and burned out by the hopeless. A fitting metaphor. I almost wrote my own words there many times. Not that diving off a cliff would have ended me. And then there's a ledge at the end of the tunnel just in case those words are inspirational. The view is also quite nice. Let's see. How did you find this place? I listened to the stories of old thieves. I went to the Bloom and listened to the stories of Chila. I made friends with the Stika, and I asked them if they knew about a place like this. Turns out they did. Would you travel with me? Too many with you already. Don't want to join the menagerie. Maybe after you drop them off. Okay, so she could theoretically come with me. Yeah. You know, I'm actually thinking about it because I'm not really digging Tibir. I mean, as people have said, I think the NPCs in this game are really neat. I have not been that impressed with the companions so far. I know everybody's into Rin, and I have to find out more about Rin. I kind of like Alagern, but Alagern's just like Mr. Taciturn, you know, whatever. I don't know that Tibir has been something I've really been excited by thus far. So I don't know. I need to think about that. Oh man, let's see. Increase stat pools, increase edge. Oh, all I can do is extra effort? Well, there you go then. Deal maker and inspiring presence. Let's do that. Oh, I get both of them? Oh, very nice. Alright, here we go. Gain +1 training level in Cipher, use skill, resourceful. That's interesting. Mind barrier. +1 intellect pool, +1 armor. That's nice too. Energize, I don't care about that. Adaptation, don't care about that. Data sphere link, that's interesting. Flash, don't care about that. Quantum step, don't care about that. And targeting, I don't care about that. Or entropic field. Okay. So, does each one of these cost... Do these cost 1 point each? How much does each one of these cost? Do you guys know? Because if they each cost 1 point, then I'm going to get resourceful and mind barrier. Definitely those two. If not, then I have to decide between the two of them. I'm very tempted to choose resourceful because I'd like to be able to have that extra benefit, but what do you guys think? Like, do you know whether it costs, like any of the ones who've played this before? Is it 1 point per ability or not? Does anyone know? It is 1 point per ability? Lovely. Lovely. Thank you. Perfect. Exactly the two I would have wanted. Outstanding. Alright. You can level up Alagern. 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 Dance to the music. Okay, let's see. Increase stat pools, increase edge. Okay. All right. Speaking of Tibir. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's a Jack, right? Matkina is a Jack, I believe I saw. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of Tibir. So, in a way, this doesn't matter. But I suppose... Let's increase stat pools. Let's increase his speed. Okay. Let's go with extra effort. Cold calculating one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, let's talk with Broseph here. Before we do that, let's loot him completely. This is always the part in anything where I always have to laugh because you know they're always kind of like I can imagine them being like, why are you taking all my stuff? Because Wait, what? Oh, it won't let me take it off? Alright, well, that's fine. There's no reason I'm taking all your stuff from you. I'm just, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Need me?
Yes, I do.
What do you need? Yes, lad?
I think it's best we part. Parting ways? Damned sorry to hear it. It's been a pleasure. If you had needed me again, I'll be at the caravanserai looking for a way out of this vertical slum. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay. Matkina. Would you travel with me? Nothing here that requires my immediate attention, I suppose. Fine. Thank you, Makina. Let's go. Oh, that's her, huh? Cool. All right. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Okay. Let's get this to you. Haha. Okay. Okay, so now that I have this, I want to get this back to you. Because you can do this without getting any kind of a sickness. Come on and get down with the sickness. Come on. Ooh, that's another thing, too. Actually, you know, that might even work better. Here, where's that healing blade? Healing sword. Healing sword. Alright. Oh, can I not dual wield? Ah, shoot. Alright, never mind then. I was hoping I could dual wield in the offhand. Actually, wait, can I? Can that go in the offhand? I can't. Oh well. Oh well. Lovely. Alright. Cool. So let's save this. Let's take a look at some of these things.
Yes.
Okay, it leads back to the Stika, so we're not going to do that right now. This clay containers smell of cheap wine and spoiled food. A dirty wash basin sits atop a barrel of stagnant water.
I'm going.
Just pick some stuff up. Not very much, De Hawk Titan. I mean, in the sense that it is a little bit isometric. It's a group. It is a grouped RPG. I guess you could say that there are similarities there. There's definitely, I guess, connections that way. But the story is much more straight ahead in Tyranny. The combat system, it's much more prominent in Tyranny. Combat is much more prominent than it is in Torment. I don't know. I like Tyranny a lot, as I said. Some people obviously disagree, but I happen to enjoy it quite a bit. The final words of countless men and women are scrawled upon the stone wall. Some apologize to loved ones, while others rage against an injustice or a slight. A few left only their names. It is, let's see. Yeah, Tyranny is definitely less wordy. That's no doubt about that. I totally agree. But I mean, there's some connections to them. That's the game that I actually played right before I played this one, was Tyranny, so. Let's see. I want to see where this is going to lead me. Aha. I have arrived. Okay, but the Passage to the Valley of Dead Heroes. Okay, but before I do that, though, I want to find... Where is this? Okay, Chapel in the Underbelly. Right, I want to go down to the Dendra to her, so I want to do that side quest first. So... Go. I always love these games where you just emerge from like a trap door or something in a row in like a middle of a street, and everyone's just like, oh. And just talk about how like this is secret, nobody knows where it is, and then you just emerge and you're like, hey, what's up, guys? What? No, there's nothing down there. I'm just, you know. Okay, let's hit up the Dendra O'Her Chapel. Going to the... There it is. Yep.
All right.
Do this side quest. I want to check that quickly. I don't remember if I ever did that. Oh, excuse me, you talking about this cave? Oh, that's right. That's what that is. This really, really cool ladder. Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay. It's time for the Dendra O'Hur Chapel. Let me make sure I know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Searching for the Sorrow's latest victim. Alright, so I need to talk about the victim's body.
Yes.
Whoa. What? This pushcart holds the emaciated corpse of a pauper. His toes and fingers have been chewed to the bone.
Sighing, Aligern?
You don't know my history. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, okay, I'll check that out in a minute.
Boredom, then? In case you haven't noticed, you don't have a monopoly on tragedy here.
The bed of this old pushcart is stained with blood and other more unpleasant things. A plump middle-aged woman lies upon the slab. Her head has been stripped of flesh, her eyes placed neatly on the slab beside it. Under the cloth lies the corpse of a man in dirty, mismatched armor. He appears to have been stabbed dozens of times. Great. This corpse has been partially eaten, gnawed by human teeth. The body cavity is splayed open and most of the organs are gone.
Let's go.
Oh, no, don't interact yet. His corpse is in a wretched state, its head and limbs crushed to pulp with bits of wooden debris embedded in the skin. The corpse of an elderly man lies under the shroud, his face is peaceful and you see no obvious cause of his death. A teenage girl lies dead on the slab, most of her bones are shattered, suggesting that she fell from a great height.
Go. I'll remember that.
You carefully move the shroud to the side. There's no way around it. This dead man was a cast-off, and it would be hard for him to be deader. His flesh is papery, desiccated. His tattoo, or rather the charred remains of it, has burned through his skin and into the bone beneath. And of course there is the matter of his charred eye sockets and his horrified gaping mouth. Parts of the corpse are missing, remnants of an aborted Dendra feast. You aren't surprised they stopped. The last thing you remember before your fingertip grazes the tattoo is a rising buzz. Panting softly, you awaken, leaning against the bier for support. Your arm burns, your temples throb, and white static claws at the corners of your vision. Someone was screaming in that lightless, timeless void. You remember that much. But it wasn't you, none of the Dendra looking your way. Okay. That was interesting. Yeah, well, the companions in general have been kind of underwhelming, honestly. Devourer of Wrongs. Come up with a voice for this guy. This enormously fat figure stands alone, motionless. Because of its metal mask and the obscuring layers of devices, filters, and hoses it wears, you can't be sure if it's a man or a woman, or even if it's entirely human. Its thick neck bulges and clenches as if it was chewing something. This one looks familiar. Some mind in my mind once knew him. You recall seeing this being before, standing behind Riss on the execution platform in Circus Minor. Oh wow, way back then. What's your role in the Dendra Horde? I attend executions and eat the condemned once they are dead. Their meat shows me the extent of their guilt and gives me their memories, revealing motive, method, accomplices, and secrets. The Dendra O'Hur have always performed this service for the city. I see. You're immortalizing them. We are. Fragments of their consciousness live on in my mind. When I die, I will be eaten by my successor, and so those fragments will pass from one generation to the next, their sorrows and mistakes never to be lost or forgotten. Okay, that's troubling. Gazai. This short, squat woman rakes absently at the swollen red tattoos decorating her pale, naked scalp. Her claws draw blood, but she doesn't seem to notice. Her head jerks up at the sound of your footsteps, and her too large mouth widens in a sharp-toothed smile. We greet you, tenderlings. Yes, we honor your arrival. What brings you to the Dendrohur, What do you wish to share with us? I have some questions about the Dendrohur. No. No, we are not the voice of the Dendrohur, tenderling. Speak with our leader Imbitu instead. Savor his words and drink of his thoughts. You don't want to tell me about the Dendrohur? Want? We do not speak of want, tenderling. We do not deserve to tell you. Imbitu is our voice. Who are you? We are Gazay of the... You may not know the word, but we come from another world, a heavier one, more rocks and less life. She rubs her tattoos, drawing your attention to them once more. They are more than decorative. Their shape and placement indicate familiar or tribal ties. Are those clan tattoos or family? Both! We mark ourselves for each body we consume, like twigs sprouting from a branch. Everyone in our world is family. Everyone is food. Our world is not like yours. It is not so rich. There are no animals, no vegetals, none of those. The only flesh is our flesh. But we are blessed. When we eat bodies, nothing is lost except the corpse. The soul is preserved. The dead one becomes part of us. It becomes we. The word is vegetables. Yes, it does not matter. We do not eat things grown in dirt. And this is not why we are here. We heard rumors of the Dendrohur magic. It does not stop at the soul. It pulls memories from dead flesh and soaks them into the mind. So we came through a portal in the bloom to learn this magic. We've found our way to Sagus. We asked to join. Now the portal is gone, we hear. But we will make another. In time. How many bodies have you eaten? We do not share this. We prefer our feasts to be private. But many. We find our feasts on our own. What do your people believe again? Consume the flesh for a dead. Okay. We will miss you, tenderling. All of you. All of you. Let me eat all of you. Okay.
I'm going.
Let's go with Kiyatawa. This woman watches you, measuring every step, every twitch of your hands, and yet there is no fear in her. Iron lines her spine and presses her mouth into a thin, even line. You take a wrong turn, she says, studying the nails on her right hand. Don't see many people down here for the light or the company. You want something? How long have you been a Dendrohur? Long enough? Thought I'd found a place I belonged. Guess I was wrong. How many false families until I find my true one? Why don't you feel like you belong in the Dendrohur? Never mind. I shouldn't have said anything. What's bothering you? Nothing. No offense, but I don't know you at all. Leave me alone, all right? What's bothering you? Nothing. How about now? How about now? You tell me now? Tell me now. 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 You want to tell me now? Come on, tell me now. Tell me now. How about now? How about now? Can you tell me now? 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 How about now? Can you tell me now? Now?
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
Sup, mallet? The burly man sneers at you, flexing massive scarred hands that could easily encircle your throat. His tongue probes his Shane's sharpened teeth, and a short, blood-stained club swings from a hook at his waist. So what you doing down here, shoe meat? Playing in the dark? Have you been part of the Dendrohur for long? No, not long. What sort of work did you do before? I broke stuff. Not much for conversation, are you? Way I see it is I don't know you. You ain't done anything for me, and we got nothing to talk about. Not now, anyway. So, why should we? You'll open up if we have something to talk about? Oh, yeah. You won't be able to shut me up. Tell me about the Dendrohur. Don't have to tell you nothing. You ain't one of us. You ain't nobody. You want a tour, you talk to Imbatu. I'm busy. Is he in charge? Yeah. And at his age, he better be. You can't tell me anything about the Dendro Her? Nobody said nothing about can't. The word is won't. Maybe Imbatu will feel different. Alright, farewell. Yeah, see you later. You what, mate? Okay. Alright, let's talk to this Broseph here. Altar is made entirely of human bones with a carved skeletal head mounted above. Live maggots wriggle in its empty eye sockets. Nice. Wait.
That's best.
Quick save. Alright, Imbatu. At first glance, it would be easy to assume that this man is dying of some wasting disease or starvation. He is little more than a too-tall skeleton wrapped in translucent flesh and a tattered robe. His hands are essentially bony claws. And yet, he beams at you, his sunken eyes glittering with suppressed laughter and feverish life. Keep your guard up around this one. Imbatu's sharp. Very sharp. He's eaten a lot of very smart people. I know you. So many eyes have lingered on that tattoo. That noble brow. Yes, now I remember. Old Sarisa once saw you out of the corner of her eye. A week before his accident, Lorimar sold you a small bag of sugar-dusted almonds. But those aren't the only two. No, you drift through countless lives, altering and entering them, never leaving a name. Oh, I can't stand mysteries. I love them, but I can't stand them. Who are you? I'm not the man you think I am. That was someone else. The same face, the same tattoo. But yes, different eyes. Perhaps you have a secret twin. So, that brings you to the chapel of the Dendro Hor. So he returns, cast off. What happened this time, I wonder? Tell me about your cult. We worship the great queen. We worship the great Queen Sullivan, Lady of Maggots, Goddess of Entropy, and Guardian of the Empty Barrier. Although worship is the wrong word, perhaps. She waits on the other side of death with her billions of squirming children. They devour whatever passes into their realm, and rightfully so. Everyone must eat. But whatever she and her children eat is lost forever. And so the Dendro Her work to preserve the minds and the mysteries of mortals before death claims them. We hold their shrill little thoughts in our minds and let them tumble around as they will. It feels marvelous. Hey, what's up, son dear? How you doing, man? I had some questions about the Dendro Her. Lovely. This may surprise you, but we rarely get curious visitors. Most people seem quite nervous about us. What does your cult's name mean, anyway? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Isn't that wonderful? How long have the Dendro Her existed? Centuries. Though how many, I couldn't say. We aren't devoted to paper records, as you might imagine. We prefer keeping them in our heads. Also, and this is slightly embarrassing, none of us managed to eat our founder. He simply disappeared one day. Can you imagine? Yeah, exactly. Not creepy at all. Who founded your cult? A man named Melmoth Leviarm. I do wish one of us had managed to eat him. How do you preserve humanity's knowledge? Oh, I thought everyone knew that. We eat the flesh and organs of corpses to assimilate their minds, then... What? I was more interested in the process than your methods. Ah, fellow scholar. Well, it's quite simple and impossibly complex at the same time. We do not chew on the corpses, of course. That would be quite messy, and lethal, most likely. Humans are a diseased bunch. Our suits liquefy dead flesh, extracting the information contained within. When we feed upon this enriched flesh, it becomes part of us. Hi. But first, we need to show my son, who is going to be a year next month. Run! Oh. Hi. Ah. Okay. All right.
So just text my mom.
Okay. Is she doing Japanese or something?
Yes, I'm gonna order something else.
What are you ordering?
I don't know.
Okay. Mexican or something, maybe?
Okay, text me if you want Mexican, text her if you want Japanese.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you're already. He's not even an adult, already bald. He's going the opposite direction, son here. I know, Christensen, next month, can you believe it? June 6th is his birthday. So next month he's going to be a year old. Freaking crazy talk. Okay, let's see. I would like chicken burrito. Sorry, guys. I'm just texting my dinner order. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? How do you remember your kids' birthdays? I can hardly remember my own. I'll tell you what, Sundir. If you ever forgot your kids' birthdays, you'd know why you can't forget them. I have never forgotten my children's birthdays, and it's a good thing. Because my name would be Mud. I remember... besides my own birthday, I remember my anniversary, which is August 16th. I remember my daughter's birthday, which is January 20th. And I remember my son's birthday, June 6th. So, and my wife's birthday, which is April 12th. And my own birthday, which is September 16th. You have to remember those things. Like, those are dates you just have to lock in place, because otherwise, big problems ensue. There we go. All right, back we go. And by the way, for those of you who are just joining, welcome in. My name is Arvin Eleron. This is Pen and Pixels, a show focused on story and narrative in games, and we are playing through Torment. This is probably session 4 or 5, something like that, of Torment. This is episode 80 of Pen and Pixels. If you like what you see in here, please make sure to follow the channel. Please subscribe to GOG.com. Check out all the other wonderful streamers on here. I was checking out a couple of them over the last couple of days. I was hanging out watching Pyre and Jade play some Legend of Grimrock 2, my game of the year from a couple of years ago. It was fun watching her do that. Of course, I watch Saber on here, Screaming Joypad. I watch a lot of people on here. These are good peoples. So definitely subscribe if you can. And check us out individually on our own individual channels as well, because we have subsystems and Patreons and things like that. I am doing myself on my channel. I've been playing through Skyrim Enderal, although over the last few weeks, this has been a busy month because of my charity event that's coming up and stuff. So it's been a lot of D&D, a lot of playing radio play stuff with our vocalist, my voice team, so a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, the stares from your wife, the burning, very dangerous, the burning. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to take a chance. Exactly. That's how I do it. Well, see, here's the thing. You pretty much can't plan it that way. You can make an attempt to estimate. Yeah, exactly, Kilobyte. What event is that? It's ArvCon. I talked about that at the beginning, Kill. I talked about that at the very beginning. Kilobyte, who is the master, I recommend him if you guys ever have graphic design needs. Kilobyte is a person you should check out. He's the guy who does a lot of graphic design stuff for my channel, and he did all the promo posters. So if you check out my Twitter, you'll see the promo posters for ArvCon, and that is his work. He also did the overlays for the channel, too. But yeah, so Sundir, there's limits to how much you can plan these things. You can attempt to do that, you know. But only roughly speaking. After that, you just have to come up with the connection that it has. So like my anniversary, that one we could plan. That one is a month before my actual birthday, so that one's pretty easy. My wife's birthday, I don't know why I remember that specifically. I just sort of locked it in my head because it was important. My daughter's birthday I remember because she was born on the day of, well, actually, she wasn't born on that day. She was born on Inauguration Day, which is January 20th. That's one way to help remember that. And I don't know why I remember June 6th, except it happened less than a year ago, so I guess it's just the one that stands out by itself. Yeah, who'd want to be conned by me, exactly. Let's see. We scour the streets for bodies left unclaimed. We bring them here and lay them upon the biers. When a body is ripe with unplucked secrets, we gather about it and taste it together. Let a lifetime of thoughts flit around ours like little fish. Interesting. Oh, it is. And dangerous, of course. It does drive us all the slightest bit mad, but it's worth it, even so. Okay, I want to talk about something else. Oh, very well. Tell me about yourself. Oh, there isn't much to tell. I've spent most of my years in this little chapel. The Dendro Hurs rather consume my life. Ha! Consume my... ArvCon does have some pretty epic events. I'm pretty excited about it, yeah. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the people that we've got lined up, the people who are going to be performing in it. I actually need to think about this. If I count all the people that are going to be showing up in the channel, so we've got, let's see. So Infinity Beyond and the R Vocalist, 4. So on the R Vocalist, we've got normally 5. We'll have 4 for this one. Then we've got another 4, because so 8 people between those two groups. 5 is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've got 17 different people that are going to be appearing in an event, doing a musical event, appearing in the Open Legend event, or doing some other kind of event with the channel. So that's a lot of people. That's a team effort right there. 17 people that are going to be appearing directly. And then there's the behind-the-scenes stuff, like Kilobyte, the people who are, putting together the bots and stuff like that to make it happen. So, yeah, it's a team effort here. Why did you join the Dendro Hur? Well, that is a good question. A very good question. I congratulate you on asking it. I cannot tell you much. Outsiders rarely understand what calls us to the Dendro Hur, but you have kind eyes. And so I will tell you that it was kindness. Beyond that, however, I cannot answer. My apologies. I want to know more about what drew you to the Dendro Hur. And I would love to tell you, but the full answer is rather tangled in the mysteries of our order. I simply cannot indulge you. Again, my apologies. I want to know more! Okay, I want to talk about something else. Sculptor told me your people may have found a man killed by a strange creature. Yes, I believe I know the poor man. Dry as a leaf, hollow as an eggshell, barely any mind left in there at all. Inspect him at your leisure. He's the one with the charred skin on his brow. Now, I don't know much more about him, though I can assure you we plumbed the depths of his mind and body for answers. But I seem to recall seeing him before, possibly not through my eyes, mind you, in Cliff's Edge. He was coming out of a building near the surgical parlor. Okay. Farewell. That's interesting. So, little update there. Victim's house in Cliff's Edge. All right, let's do it. Let's go find out more about this guy.
Consider it done.
Thank you for your weird commentary on my life.
Let's go.
Let's go. Plums are delicious. Let's see. I think Cliff's Edge is actually out this way, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, wait. Oops. Did I never go back here?
Yes.
Really? You find a jumbled pile of large rocks at the end of this roughly hewn tunnel. Why did I never go here? The motionless limbs of a Stickus protrude from the mounds, the rents in its carapace painted with dried ichor. Let's move the rocks. Give me that might!
Making a note.
The first rock is the hardest to shift. The first rock is the deepest. Okay. Fully expose the corpse beneath. Let's examine it. Clearly the creature was digging this tunnel when the roof collapsed and killed it. Its smaller claw is mangled and smashed, but apart from the crushed thorax and a few gashes in its carapace, the body itself is surprisingly intact. Other than the crushed thorax and mangled corpse, the corpse is surprisingly intact. Okay. I got some additional info on the cold calculating jack. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So the third bottom right exit. Not sure that I know which the third bottom right exit is, unless it's somewhere here. I actually don't think I've gone this way.
Cheer up, Alagern.
That's rich coming from you.
I sneer, I glower, you mope. Big difference.
Yeah, these conversations are not inspired. Oh, the cave. That's right.
Let's go all. You and me.
Thank you for reminding me. Let me, hold on a second. Let me do this as I run back and forth multiple times. Let me do this first, then I'll go to the cave. It's called The Road, Sundeer. I actually just played a gig with them on Saturday. My first gig out with them for a few years, actually. It was good. Went really well. Hopefully we'll have a live version of that up soon. Album should be coming out later on. Grisly crime scene is blocked by Folsom and his thugs. Sup? This man towers over you, enormously fat and draped in gaudy robes. His expression is calm, stern even, as he regards the bloody mess spread across the floor and wall. The hooded figures on either side of him tense as you approach. He turns to inspect you, eyebrow lifted, and raises his hand. His bodyguards relax, watching you. In the space of a second, his eyes flick over you. He nods, apparently to himself, as if your presence has confirmed something he expected. One of the cast-off godlings. That explains the missing pieces. His gaze shifts to Matkina, and his expression hardens further. Matkina, you will tell me if you know anything about the murder of Weedle. And if you are responsible, you'll reveal the name of your employer. Now. And the White Death. It raises questions of its own. You know me better than that. Or should. Should I? Very well. Lend your expertise to the task at hand, Matkina. Find me the killer. I suggest you try your hardest. What is the Fallen Star doing in the underbelly? In the company of the White Death, no less. Who are you? The people of the underbelly struggle. They live and die in the dark. Their sorrows do not reach the ears of those who live in the light. And so, I am their voice. I speak for them before the mighty, protect them from the predators that see them as easy prey, and I avenge them when I fail. Now answer my questions. Why are you here? How do you know who I am? An odd question. You fell from the sky like a comet and somehow survived. Now you're traveling with one of the deadliest assassins I've ever known. My people have been watching you since you set foot on the reef. I've answered your question, so answer mine. What are you doing here? Do I need a reason to visit the underbelly? No. Perhaps I can give you one. This is all that remains of Weedle, one of my protégés. I had hopes for him. Now they will never be realized. The underbelly is poor without him. Bring me any information you find. Help me discover the identity of his killer and you'll be rewarded. Can I depend on your assistance? Yeah, you can count on me. I hope so. Trustworthy allies are in short supply. Do you have any ideas about the killer's motive? I have suspicions, and I have enemies. It takes no imagination to conclude that this was meant to hurt me. But the killer did not slit Weedle's throat and leave him for me to find. No. They spilled an ocean of his blood and scrawled nonsense on the walls. If this is a message for me, I cannot interpret it. It suggests the killer is crazy, but which of my enemies are insane? Do you live in the underbelly? Not quite. I rarely sleep, so I need no bed of my own. But I spent most of my life in these tunnels and grottos. It's a good place. Cruel and unforgiving, but good. Sagus foolishly sends its undesirables here as if it's worthless. But the underbelly is a place of hidden treasures, wise machines, and kind mutants. If I had a home here, I would not regret it. Folsom seems like a strange name for you. Yes, the name was a gift, and somewhat of a witticism, from my departed mentor many years ago. Before long, the name was the only one I was known by. A true gift in light of the unfortunate nature of my given name. I wonder what that means. Any new insights? Okay. I want to examine the murder scene behind you. I will not have you trample through his blood without cause. So there had better be one. I don't need your help that badly, Godling. I know you're grieving for your protege. All I want is to catch his killer. Let him pass when he's ready.
I'm going.
Not much remains of Folsom's former protege beyond a vast, still pool of blood with a skinned hand at its center. A bloody circle is scrawled on the wall nearby. Let's inspect the hand. A flayed hand with long, slender fingers lies palm up in the center of the pool of blood. The rest of the victim is missing.
I'll remember that.
We won't learn anything from this mess. Let's take a look at the circle on the wall. Okay. You step toward the circle. Something about it seems familiar. Haven't seen this in a while. That's no simple circle. That's the symbol of the children of the Endless Gate. They're a sect of the Dendra Uhur. I like how the Dendra Uhur are already a sect, and this is a sect of a sect. It's like a sect. That kills people instead of eating them. They call it opening the cages. The Dendra chased them out of the city a long time ago, but it doesn't look like they took the hint. Either that, or one of the Dendra Uhur got tired of waiting for people to die on their own. I bet it's that. Alright, surrender to the memory. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. A strip of blistered land coils through a void as black as a gaping mouth. The air is thick, foul, and textured with the slickness of maggots. Nausea slams into you, filling your head, infecting your thoughts. You shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door, and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Taking that damage to the health pool, man. Really help me all that much. Alright, so I gotta go hit up the Dendra Uhur because... Yep. Question the cultists. Time to question those cultist people. So remind me, Disculti, I'm gonna do that, and then when I'm done with that, then we'll go to the cave and take care of that situation.
Yes.
Let's do it up. Circle back to the cave first. Why?
All right.
No, I'm here. I'll do it. I'll do it as soon as this quest is done. Can I ask you some questions about the murderer loose in the underbelly? Oh, okay. Well, my bad. No. Good night, Big Boss. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Imbitu has forbidden us from involving ourselves in the investigation.
Why won't Imbitu let me ask you about the murderer?
That is for him to answer, not me. Do not question Imbitu.
Interesting. Imbitu, we need to talk. What about you, Guzai? A murderer is loose in the underbelly. Do you know anything about that?
Making a note.
We are not to speak of that. Imbitu has asked us to hold our tongues. Foolish tenderling. There has been no murder. Why doesn't Imbitu want you to speak about the murder in the underbelly? We do not know. We do not ask. Okay. What about you, Kiyotawa? I think this one did it. A murderer is loose in the underbelly. Can I ask you some questions? No. Imbitu doesn't want us getting involved. Not without the old man's permission. All right. So...
Let's go.
It's pretty fast work that he got back to them. Alright, Mallet.
What you want, shul mate?
There's a murderer loose in the underbelly. You know anything about that?
I know I'm not supposed to run my mouth about it. Not unless Imbitu says so. I didn't lose anybody that matters, I say.
Just want to ask a few questions about the murderer.
Yeah? I want a lot of things too. But unless Imbitu gives the go-ahead, I ain't saying nothing.
Alright. So, now, let's talk to Imbitu, the bro. Ah, welcome back. I see you're still on your feet. Helping Folsom investigate some trouble in the underbelly. Can I ask you some questions? Of course. And do tell Folsom hello from me. We are dear friends. What's up, Blorp? I haven't seen you in a while. Well, he frowns more than I smile, but we do have a grand time whenever we meet, which is often. Tell me about the children of the Endless Gate. I hope you're not asking for the reason I think you are. It began as a branch of the Dendro Uhur that was more impatient in their appetites. Years ago, my sisters and brothers and I chased them from the city and erased their names from every record. Or thought we had. Perhaps... no. This is the first time I've spoken of the Endless Gate in years. They cannot possibly be involved. Could their twisted beliefs have somehow infected one of them? Impossible. Where were you when Filsom's protege was killed? Ah, I have quite an amazing alibi. Is that how you say it? Alibi? I was with Folsom the entire night. He can tell you as much. Damn! What? It may not have been entirely legal what we did, but it wasn't murder. What's up with that?
Making a note.
I've promised Folsom I wouldn't tell anyone how he helps with things. You'll need to ask him if you want to know more. So as you can see, I'm beyond suspicion. For one thing, the priest was already dead. This is very disturbing. I have evidence that Dendro Her are involved. Can I
I'll
speak with your
remember that.
acolytes? Oh my. I suppose you have my permission. Do be gentle with them. If they deserve it, of course. Do you think any of the other Dendro Her could be capable of murder? Yeah, absolutely. So you can keep up with what I do on my YouTube. That's true. That's true. Certainly not. Well, they do come and go as they please, hunting for bodies left in the gutters like broken leaves. The Devourer of Wrongs was standing vigil these last few days, but any of the others could be responsible, I suppose. Oh dear. They really are a suspicious lot, aren't they? Mallet enjoys hurting people, Kayatawa tells her little lies, and Gazay, well, she's quite unique. All in all, they're a horrifying bunch, aren't they? I really hadn't noticed before. I really wonder whether he's the one who did it. Take care. Take great care. All right.
You won't notice I'm gone.
All right, now you can talk. Tell me what I want to know. Imbitu says I can ask you about the murder of Folsom's protege, Weedle.
Good. I would have the murderer caught, and caught quickly. It angers me that all of this transpired while I was attending to Riss. I assume you are here because one of the Dendra O'Hur is suspected of being the murderer. I will tell you what I know. I have known Imbitu through many minds. He is subtle, clever, and untrustworthy. He's also no murderer. That leaves the other three. They are all capable of the crime. Mallet is ambitious and desires revenge. Kiyatawa sneaks, plots, and keeps secrets. Gazay is not human and does not define murder as we do. Talk to them. Search for holes in their stories. These will lead you to the truth. Who do you think's responsible? Mallet, Gazay, or Kiyatawa could be the murderer. Question them and look for falsehoods. These lead you to the truth. Okay. So basically anyone but you and Imbitu, unless Imbitu ordered you to do it. That's what it could be. I mean, Imbitu could have ordered Devourer of Wrongs to go do it. We welcome you back, Tenderling. Imbitu says I can ask you about the murder of Folsom's protege. Ask your questions, Tenderling. Murder? How can it be murder with no body? Do you know about a group called the Children of the Endless Gate? We know it, but we are not sure how. Yes, bloody circles left on the sides of junkyard dwellings outside the bloom, in shadows. Beware the endless gates, little woman, the people of that community say. It still makes us laugh. Such sweetness. What do you know about the murder? Oh, Tenderling, you use the wrong word over and over. There is no murder if there is no body. This was... And so nothing was lost. We do not know who is responsible. Kiyatawa and Mallet sneak about during the night. They swallow their secrets. They are Tendro Her to serve their power and hunger, not to honor the dead, not for... They are not capable of such kindness. Why is he so interested in a soul that was not lost? Very strange. What is that word used to describe murder, that clicking, growling word? Word? Oh yes, your language does not have the word, so we use our own. We know of murder, of course. To leave a body to rot is to say that the soul inside is not worth keeping. This we punish. Its decision is not for anyone to make. The word we speak of is the opposite. In my world, when one of us dies or is killed, we eat their flesh and take their souls into our body. We feel the light of them reach our corners. They becomes we. You understand? I see. You only think it's a murder if the murderer doesn't eat the entire body. Yes, you understand. This murder is no murder. We know the details. A skinned hand in blood, circles on the wall. Tenderlings play with their food. Perhaps your murderer is young. They do not know they should finish the hands, strip the memories of hard work from the tendons, crunch the bones, slurp the blood from the floor. Tenderlings. Perhaps this tenderling thinks what I do is murder? He's wrong. You don't think Kiyatawa or Mallet killed anyone? We never said that. They kill, but they do not honor. They do not understand who they are. Okay. See you. Alright, so the two prime suspects based on these ones we've talked to so far. Let's see. Imbitu says I can ask you about the murder of Folsom's protege. Yeah? Good. Have to say I'm not surprised the murderer's trail led you in here. What do you want to know? You want anything about the Endless Gate? No. Never heard of them.
How about the other Dendro her? All right. Don't expect me to hold back. What are your opinions on Imbatu? He's lived too long. Maybe the Dendro her was something once, but he's just looking for his next meal now, and the rest of them are following his example. What do you feel about Mallet? He likes hurting people. More than that, he's proud of it. I'm not sure, but I think he's been killing rivals from his old life, and eating them. I know he killed. He probably ate too. Why wouldn't he? What do you think of Gazay? She used to be worse than she is. If you haven't talked to her yet, you'll see what I mean. Maybe all those corpses she's eating on her own are bringing Sagus into her head. Civilizing her, maybe. But that just means she's a predator who knows the mind of her prey. She's a monster. Certainly she's murdered to eat. Why wouldn't she? Okay. Last but certainly not least, Mallet. Okay. Let's see. What you want, sure, mate? Okay, I can ask you about the protege. Is that right? Yeah, all right. Ask your questions for all the good it'll do you. Have you ever heard of something called the Endless Gate? No. Strange name, though. If it don't end, it ain't much of a gate, is it? It's more of a hallway. It's very deep, Mallet. Let's see. You sure you... See you, cutie. Sure you don't know anything about it? No, I told you. What about the other members of your family? Family? Good one. I trust my brother over this bunch, and he tried to cut my throat when I was 5. Go on and ask your questions. What are your opinions on Imbatu? He's all right. Got half the city scared of him, and the other half bringing him meat. Not bad for an old man who smiles at everyone and never raises his voice. I hope to be half that feared when I'm done. More than half. What do you think of Gazai? Gazai's a monster. Less than human and more than a beast. I've seen her take a corpse's face off with a swipe of those claws and tuck it into her mouth like pan bread. Didn't stop until the body was gone, down to the last drop of blood. Talk to Gazai if you want. Figure her out. Me, I keep my distance. How do you feel about Kiyatawa? The combat isn't great to me, Blorp, but that's because I almost never get into a fight, because this game is really not intended. The game is not combat focused. You can do combat, but to me that's not really the point of the game, so I don't think the combat's particularly great, but that's partially just because I just don't think it's the focus of what the game's about. So something's wrong with her, and I ain't stupid. I know how it sounds coming from me. Just something's broken in her, and it's always getting worse. Okay. So, wait a second. I wanted to ask about... talk to you about your eating habits. Is that right? Much of a mystery there. I eat people. I like it. That doesn't answer your question. Go on and ask. Doesn't eating human flesh bother you? Oh, it's definitely more Baldur's Gate than Icewind Dale. I mean, to the extent that it's anything. It's really more like Planescape Torment, which also didn't have a huge focus on combat. It's definitely not Icewind Dale. I mean, Icewind Dale is very hack and slashy. It's weird. Icewind Dale is too bad sometimes because I bounced off it a couple times that I've tried it. I got all the way to the end, to the final boss fight, and the final boss fight was kind of a pain. I was doing it with a group of guys that we were playing on stream. The problem with Icewind Dale was it was so hack and slashy that it really got tedious, frankly. But it had a great setting. It has an amazing score. A pretty good story too. But just the combat was so tedious. Let's see. Baldur? No. Baldur ain't the right word. You think you're going to mind the taste, but you don't. The part I don't like is that memories from the person you eat end up in your head, and you can't make them shut up. The 4 of us ate this scholar. Not a fancy one, but one with old robes. Kiyatawa was talking about some word she kept hearing after. I didn't get a word. I saw a memory of his when I was picking him out of my teeth. He was lying in bed, dying maybe,
waiting for his son to come see him. His eyes kept closing, and his son never came. Not that I saw, anyway. And that's from just one meal. They get in my head and make me forget who's me. Imbatu says it gets easier, but why do you eat corpses if it troubles you so much? It doesn't trouble me. It just ain't easy. But it'll get better. Look at Imbatu. He's been doing this a long time. Kiyotawa says you've been killing people instead of waiting for them to die.
Updated my journal.
People? She said that? Yeah, all right, but not people. It was just the one. Someone, yeah, I ain't gonna give you a name, who stole something from me once. And the fact that you ain't here asking about him means no one misses him. And that's it? You never got the urge to kill again? I ain't got nothing against killing. It's done me a lot of good. But no, that was the last time. Urge? No, that ain't how it works. Killing's useful is all. You sure you haven't killed anyone else since you joined the Dendro Her? Yeah, I'm sure. Don't know if I believe that guy. What about Kiyotawa? Anything else to tell me? Yeah. Okay. Forgot to ask her something.
I'll remember that.
No, but I've seen what they left behind of Folsom's boy. A mess. Blood on the walls and floor. No body. That's the kind of death you see when someone's sending a warning, or holding a grudge. I saw it all the time before I came here. The circle's not a warning, it's a sign. Why do you think someone killed Folsom's protege? Why? Why? Hey, what's up, Dizzy? How you doing, man? This is someone Folsom cared about. He has a lot of enemies. Why do you think? Got any proof yet? Let's see. Okay. We welcome you back, Tenderling. More questions about the murder. Shoot bloody circles again. Junkyard outside the Bloom. Okay, so I already got that answer. Let's see. Which of the Dendro Her do you think is responsible for the murder of Folsom's protege? Mallet, Gizair, Kizawa. Okay.
Sure.
And Imbatu. There are more questions about the trouble going on in the underbelly. Okay, so that's all the same stuff. Alright, I just want to see what it looked like zoomed in. Okay. Alright. With respect, Destined, I don't know that it's the greatest idea to come on the GOG channel and encourage people to go buy a game on Steam. It's not really the most polite way to do it, don't you think? But, I mean, people can obviously buy the game wherever they want. I have Steam, and I have bought games on Steam, but on a channel that is about GOG, kind of not the way you do things, man. Okay, I'm going to go deal with this cave thing before I continue on with this murder thing. Okay, let's see. Can you take me someplace over the city? Take me down to the Paradise City. Alright, let's go to the Cave of the Last Words. I'm going to check out that cave part. Also, I've been streaming this on GOG for about a month, so I started it before there was any stream going on. Before there was any sale going on. Okay. Yeah, I haven't caught any of the expeditions. Well, I respectfully disagree, Destined.
All right.
Respectfully disagree. I think if you went into a channel that was called, as I say, I have both platforms myself, but if I went into a channel run by Steam, and then I told everyone, why are you doing this when you could go get it at GOG, I think you can understand why that might seem a little problematic, that's all. But I'm not telling you off for it, I'm just saying wouldn't have been the way that I would have handled it myself.
All right.
This doesn't lead me any... Oh, I'm wrong. I thought it didn't lead me anywhere, and I was like, that is incorrect that it does.
Yes.
So this is that ledge thing. Recommend to go up to the top of the cliff first, go down and interact with the ledge. Alright, well, I'm kind of doing that right now to see. Are you talking about jumping? I should jump, Descaldi? From this height you can see everything. Beyond the city of Sagus, cliffs, bluffs, and chasms extend toward the horizon on either side for at least 50 kilometers. The sea stretches between them, perhaps 20 kilometers across at its widest. Then the waters widen and swallow the horizon. What if I look down? The tiers of Sagus cliffs spread out to your right, a jumble of streets and buildings. To the left is the opening of a dark chasm. Tendrils of flesh. Let's see. Tendrils of flesh cling to the edges like vines. Oh, go up first, though? Okay. Scavenging and fishing sloops crawl slowly across its surface. The rooftops of a few Sagus homes jut from the cliff's surface, but mostly it's a clear drop to the sea. Okay.
Go.
What do we got here? From this height, you can see... oh, this is the same thing. I can see everything. Okay. It's the same deal. I haven't seen any of your Expeditions Viking streams, Dizzy. I've been wanting to check it out, but I have not been able to. I think it's just been streaming at different times for me. So. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that said, you're welcome to your opinion, Destinies. That's fine. Okay. Try to climb the cliff. I'll do it with the power of speed. Wait, who? I love how one person can do this with speed. Nice. Cliff face is deceptive. So I guess I'm just hanging on to her back, pretty much, as I'm, like, climbing up there. Oh, man. Holds that looks like they'll crumble in your hand stay firm, while solid-looking protrusions crumble like they were made of sand. With careful planning, though, you make it all the way to the top. Okay. So I'm even higher now than a... Whoa! What the flip? A welcome blast of wind caresses your face at the cliff top. Your companions follow the path you blaze for them. What the heck is this? Oh, that's right. I remember seeing this from the outside. I forgot about that until I was facing it.
I'm going.
Most of the cliff top is obscured by a dome of energy. When you get close to it, the air hums and your hair stands on end. Alright, wait a second.
I'm ready.
Okay. Try to see what's inside it. The air sizzles as you get closer. Good management, not saying that word. Well, I was like, what the heck? The air sizzles as you get closer, popping across your skin like invisible jumping beetles. When you are within arm's reach, a control interface appears in the air in front of you. It is a glowing circle with strange symbols floating at the edge and a vertical bar next to it. When you step back again, the interface disappears. Whatever energy forms this dome is completely opaque. You can't see anything through it. Oddly, though, you can see the shadows of the cliffs and birds on the other side. Let's study the interface. This should technically be me, because of my intelligence. Right. Well, the family is not in the room, so I technically could swear like a sailor. But, you know, if you guys have watched me for a while or on my channel, I swear very seldom. I don't swear very often in life, either. When I do swear, I usually, I mean, not counting, like, damn, which is, to me, pretty mild. But the larger swears, I usually don't use. And when I use them, it's usually because I feel like the time has come, if you know what I'm saying. Like, for example, at the end of Mass Effect 1, I was able to defeat the boss there just using my persuasion skill, basically, my diplomacy, or whatever the equivalent was in Mass Effect, I don't remember now, as opposed to killing him. So when that went down, and I literally had been very close to not being able to level enough to get it, I just had enough to level up to get the skill that I needed, so I dropped an F-bomb there. I was just like, yes, F, yes. So, and that was, you know, that was different. The circle is likely a place to put one's hand or face, probably the former since the heat from the dome might burn your face. Presumably someone with the proper authority could open the dome by using the holographic bar on the side as a kind of latch. The symbols around the circle are unfamiliar, suggesting this installation is very old, perhaps predating the truth. Whoever created this dome, then, wanted to keep what was inside a secret from anyone except those to whom he or she had given access. Saren Artery in the end, and I know what you mean. I like bugger. Yeah. My dad always used to have, my dad would always do this, and he would be like, you know, no, there's no need to swear, son. There's so many other words you can use. Like, blast it, for example. And I was always like, it just doesn't, you know, like blast it. I was always like, that word doesn't really get the punch in the gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really. I don't know. Oh man. Let's see. So let's try to use the interface. Blast! Yes, blast. That's right. As soon as you place your hand in the circle, symbols light up and spin rapidly. Apparently you have the authority to enter. You slide your other hand at the bar on the side, the interface disappears. The air cools immediately and the dome fades until it's gone entirely. Well, well. Look at this. Look at what we have here, chat.
Alright.
First of all, let's loot. Some shins. We got us the Eyes of the Finite. And a war mask. Mask face is very similar to that of the mechanical men known as Urgolian soldiers who patrol isolated areas of the Ninth World. Their motives are entirely unpredictable. What's up, Elias? And they're generally viewed as a threat by those who live in the Beyond. Some believe that the Orjolian soldiers are following orders that are millions of years old, and a few tribes in the Beyond venerate the creatures as servants of long-dead gods. Destined, I think we should probably move on from this discussion. The way that it went down was you came into the chat and you said you really think it's kind of a silly thing to do. You actually said it's a mistake to be streaming this game while there's a sale going on Steam, and you should get it there instead. And to me, that's kind of rude. So I'm sorry if you don't see it that way, and if you feel you're being told off, you weren't. But now I think you're letting the conversation go on too long, so I think we should just let it drop. You're certainly entitled to your opinion. I'm sorry if you felt that way, and you're welcome to grab it from Steam or wherever you like. I am not an employee of GOG. I volunteer on this channel, all of us do, but I kind of understand why GOG would prefer that on a channel called GOG, people not be advertising Steam. It would be the equivalent of walking into another person's channel and talking about, hey, this channel isn't that really great. Why don't you come to my channel and watch me stream? It would have the same effect, it seems to me. But again, I don't think we should go on with it. So, see you, Amberzine. Some Steam. Fair dice. That's cute. That's cute. So this thing is not an artifact. It's an ornament. See, I don't do the sucker punch thing. I mean, I guess I can put it on. I don't think it does anything for me because I'm not likely to use it. Okay. I mean, whatever. That's fine. I don't really think there's anything there, but...
Yes.
Nope. I don't interact it yet. Wanted to save it first. Alright, writing feels familiar. Well, let's decipher it, shall we? If I can. Furl! Ugh, I had a feeling. Thank you, Destin. Meaning the script eludes you, but you can see an organization of the elements of the readout. The strange symbol that dominates the readout is a handprint, albeit not a human one. There are two lists next to it. A longer list of... What's up, Raginator? Text and a shorter list of what you believe to be numbers. Each list has one item highlighted. You feel fairly certain that merely touching a new item will select it. Try it again. Can't do it. Oh, God. I really want to figure this out. Yeah, exactly, X5. Okay, so that hurt a lot, but, you know. After studying the text for several minutes, you begin to see, or perhaps simply remember, patterns in the words. In a flash, the purpose of the device comes back to you. This is an omniscope. Of course it is. A device used to view locations from afar. The large alien symbol is actually an inhuman handprint. The longer list next to it is a set of location names, and the shorter list denotes ranges of time, how far back in time the omniscope should look. You discover that you can actually read them all. Well, I also kind of brute forced that a little bit, X5. I was like, come on, you can do it. So, that's part of it. You're putting your new surround sound gaming headset through its paces. Nice, man. So are you getting this from all sides? Are you hearing buzzing on all parts of your aural sphere? Okay, set of location times. Let's look at the list of locations. Oh my gosh. This seems really complicated. I mean, complicated in terms of I don't know what it's doing. The reef? Okay, how about the times? Distant past. Alright. Times. Okay, so that's 128. And hand in the alien handprint. Okay. Buildings fall and rise as time passes. One in particular catches your attention. It's built from purple rock and rises perfectly straight, perhaps 50 stories tall. On its side is a magnificent mural of a creature, or perhaps a tree or a storm. But you feel certain it's a creature. Perhaps the creature, the star that is hunting you. The building stood for centuries before it was toned down. The problem is there's so much... Like, I'm going to need a specific reason to look at the Omniscope. I think it's going to be useful to do it, but I need a specific reason to be looking at it, or it's not going to work. Twitch stream is in stereo. Holographic panel appears to be a control interface. In the center is what looks like a utility map of Sega's cliffs, surrounded by a number of symbols you cannot immediately identify, and in the upper right quadrant, some sort of cube within a cube. A dweem within a dweem. Anyone know what that's from? Marriage is the true love. A dweem within a dweem. The map of Segas has a number of locations highlighted, some of which you recognize. There are 4 symbols around it. A circle that looks like a sun. Hell yeah, Princess Bride. Love that movie. And a few man and wife. Say man and wife. Man and wife. The great Peter Cook. A cluster of stars, a triangle of 3 eyes, and what looks like a crystal lattice. All the symbols are lit except for the crystal lattice. Larger than all 4 symbols is the cube within a cube, which you suddenly remember is called a tesseract. It appears to be moving. Alright, let's try to remember why this feels familiar. Oh my god, that number though. Fail. A memory tickles the edge of your mind but remains stubbornly unclear. You do, however, remember what the symbols mean. The sun activates the platform. The cluster of stars attempts to connect a network of machines. The 3 eyes inspects the status of the network, and then if repairs are needed... oh, yeah? Crystal lattice will attempt to repair them. Tesseract is some kind of toggle, shifting the controls from one state to another, but you can't remember the nature of those states. So... Alright, sun is the platform. Let's do that then. Okay. The platform remains steady, but outside as if time is shifting as swiftly as the sea. Platform shudders slightly, then clicks off. Air cools and quiets. Caravanserai returns to the way it was. After keeping the energy dome active for so long, centuries or longer, it seems the platform no longer has enough power to remain active. Alright, let's connect the current network. The bright points on the map grow even brighter, and the platform beneath your feet hums with a growing warmth. These thin strands of energy, barely visible in the sunlight, stretch across the city between each location on the map. At the same time, faded lines appear on the map connecting each portal. It was Nico Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. A network of generators which this panel controls. Then with a loud pop, the energy fades, the humming stops, and everything returns to the way it was. Okay. Let's see. Let's press the eyes. The map changes color. Each of the bright points lights up in turn, occasionally stretching a faded line from one point to another. After a minute of this, the map fades. A voice speaks the truth directly into your mind. This happens all the time. Temporal network connections limited. Please repair the network. Let's repair the network. Again, the map lines up and changes colors. Blah, 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 blah. Lines between each point grow and fade. Some of them grow solid and then disappear. Others have gaps in them that never light up at all. After several minutes, the activity ceases and the voice speaks to you again. Could not restore network. Hey, what's up, Diginferno? Temporal connections have deteriorated beyond repair. Please consult your system conservator immediately. Is this an Asus router just rebooted? I know, right? I'll touch the Tesseract. With unfamiliar gestures, you rotate the Tesseract. The inner cube squeezes out and becomes the outer cube, while the outer cube becomes the inner one. Some of the locations lit up on the map change. Among other locations, 2 new lights appear in Caravanserai, one marking the platform where you're standing. Outer cube moves in space, no longer flickering as it was before. So now can I? Aha! A 4-winged bird flaps desperately trying to avoid the sphere, but its momentum is too great. It hits the sphere, disappearing with a cut-off squawk. Far below in Caravanserai, you see the same bird, I am a gogglitite, tumble to the ground. It stands up disoriented, then flaps its wings and takes off again. After a few moments, the humming winds down, the sphere fades, and all is silent again. Okay, let's do the cluster of stars. Still no. Inspect it. Prepare it. Yes, it worked. Spatial network restored. Connection procedure may now proceed. Yes. Special translation network connected. State your destination. Oh. Male Avist. Destination not recognized. Please state again. Man. Okay. So it's like a transport thing? It's like a transport thing. What's up, TX? The rules? There should be, I think on the page underneath the window, I believe, Destin. You should find it. I think, but I'm not looking right at the page, so I may be wrong about that. Okay. Well, this is cool, but I think I'm gonna go deal with that again later. Yeah, I'm doing right. And all of chat, of course. Yeah, I'm sorry about that then. I'm not sure. I may clearly have been wrong about that. I don't know for sure. I want to knock out her. Well, I don't want to fall either. Okay. Alright. Down you go. No rules, panic. Panic! Alright, let's save it. Yeah, I got the impression those were teleportation devices. I got that sense. Very complicated ones, though. Alright, let's... Right, here we go. See you at the bottom! You leap into the air. The fall is exhilarating. Wind rushes past you, faster and faster, stretching your face like it was made of putty. The boats in the sea grow at an alarming rate. The calls of fishermen and scavengers reach your ears, distorted by the speed. Finally, you slam into the water. The impact is hard as if it were an ocean of bedrock. Then there is only darkness. Ah!
I'm hurt.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt, by which I mean I'm dead. Because I just threw myself off a ledge. Sup? I can't say I expected you back so soon. Anything changed the last time I was here? Go around, it's your mind. What should I do now? You have to find Mazov. That name tickles our memories. I'm sure he can help you fix the chamber, and we'll find a way out of this mess. Exactly. I regret nothing! Alright. I never remember which is which. I want to see what that's all about. I love that background.
I'm ready. Updated my journal.
Ooh, arrested mind. The seal on the portal to the Fathom where I met Kamo's villain in Devatiku is weakened. It should now be possible to open a way back there. I don't remember. Oh, I vaguely remember Kamo's villain in Devatiku. No doubt the Sar fragment sealed in the first place still remains. So it's like a side quest almost. That background makes you dizzy. I feel like you yourself makes you dizzy.
I'm going.
All right, my guess is that this is going to be something I'm going to have to resolve before I get out of this place. Whoa. As you cross through the portal, you hear the ringing of synth plate being battered, followed by frantic shouts. Focus, villain! Keep the beast away from me! Oh, is this the fish guy? I just a little more to follow. You think focus is my problem? This is a piece of the sorrow, not some broken hound. That background makes you... That's troubling. Destined. Brothers, calm yourselves. Our friend is not lost as we feared. He will help.
Strange image. I've saw a place of barrier against you mere seconds ago. You will broke through so quickly, maybe. No matter. I may have a desperate terror, even the venomous creature, but I need a few moments longer to prepare it. Assist Carlos and Villa in defending me, so I'll do so.
Hey, what's up, Saber? Whoop. They at the door? Okay. Okay, one sec, guys. Just got to run downstairs. I'll be right back. Hang tight for a second. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Had to take care of the door. Oh, we lost Destined for Demise, huh? Jeez, and I wasn't even here. Were there other problems? Was he still upset that I said something about a guy coming in and telling people that it's silly to be streaming on GOG and it's much cheaper on Steam? Yeah, I noticed. I just don't. I swear to God. Waste of time. A waste of time, it seems to me. Anywho, he was a ban evader. Oh! Well, you know, it's funny. It's funny. The vast majority of my students are you know, good people and, you know, all that stuff that I deal with. But there's always, there's often a case where if I do have a student who's kind of a problem student, that I will sometimes get this feeling that it wasn't, you know, they'll try to make it like it's a unique problem, like, oh, it's only an issue with you. And inevitably, and I've been teaching for over 20 years, inevitably, the problem student has problems with all of the professors. All of them. Like, there's an issue with everybody. So, that's funny. All right, well, that's fine then. We can let the bad taste go and move back. Sorry about that I had to go. I had to help some people bring some stuff in from the store. So, let's do it here. Complete your esoteric. I'll help them fight it off.
Maybe. If you have any knowledge of the movement never, you will also assist me reading the promises. Get over here if that is true. Otherwise, I will complete it by myself.
The sorrow fragment snarls at villain, preparing another assault. The threat of violence triggers a reflex deep in your mind, and you subconsciously begin to summon reflections of your current companions. Oh, that's cool.
Ready to test this out.
All right. Crisis initiated. So here's an example of combat, which, again, I've gotten into very few of them. So... okay, last cast-off's turn. Hey, what's up, Greenwald? How you doing, man? Okay, I'm going to... yes, let us hide. Oh, I don't have a lot to do that with. Try. On me. No, on me. Okay, never mind that then.
Of course.
No. Can I? Oh, I just do not like the combat system at all. I just want to run to the guy. It's just not intuitive to me. Okay, I want to run. Can I run? I want to run is what I want to do. What in the hell? That's not what I wanted to do.
Go.
Ugh. I don't want to do that.
Ready to test this out.
I swear to God. I just find, I feel like sometimes there's an effort to reinvent the wheel with this stuff, and I don't necessarily understand why. I just would like to move somewhere. I want to go as far as I can possibly move. So I guess that's the square that I can do that in. So I'll do that. But it's just, it's not intuitive to me sometimes. Alright. Enough complaining about the combat system. It's a little bit of a get over here thing. It's working. The fragment's tether is working. Okay, that's good. Best battle system ever. Well, again, I'm not saying it's a bad one. I'm just saying it feels unnecessarily complex. I don't know how to say this without saying it wrong. It's not complex like I don't get it. It's complex in that I find that it's not as intuitive as it needs to be, and it feels like it complicates aspects without needing to. So let's see. All right, let's run forward. This reflection is reminding me of like a Dark Souls type of thing.
Fine.
See, this is what I mean. I don't understand. Okay, so I can't do that. I'd like to attack. I guess I can't attack?
Doing begets learning. I guess. I think that's best.
Okay. Hit infuse weapon. Not there yet. Warp dash. Alright, let's try that. Okay. Let's do it. Okay, I don't understand why that didn't work. Because I should have been able to attack right there, so I don't really...
I'm there.
I don't get what happened there, but okay. Alright, at least I got to him. Okay. His arms fold and extend in peaceful undulations as he drones a language you do not understand. Motes of light float around his hands. His eyes meet yours.
It is a complex mesoterrary I've devised to protect against the solar bubble. I regret I was never able to make it strong enough for that creature, but perhaps I will be able to wave it this year.
Okay, you watch his arcane gestures and listen quickly to his words. The ritual is vastly complex, but you begin to recognize a pattern within it.
You will understand? Perhaps you can assist. With two of us, we might complete the ritual more quickly.
Alright, let's see if I can do it. And I don't have any... Okay, I'm gonna have to do it next turn. Because I think I was out of action points, I think is the point. We are halfway there, my friends. We can do this. Alright, we can do this.
I barely heard it. Try something else.
Could I almost ask you to do a voice over the entire Little Big Adventure games?
Would it involve this?
Hit! And now it's back off. Okay. Ow. Okay, that hurt a fair bit. Let's go with transdimensional. And let's make sure that it doesn't... Let's try to make it not miss. Transdimensional attack, go!
Scratch this thing.
That didn't really do all that much. Oh, thanks, Dizzy. That's funny. Okay, now I think I should be able to help you. Yeah, here we go. Let's amplify. Yes, success. I have amplified it. Critical success. Yeah, I'm like counter melody.
Thank you. That sped the process greatly. I'm afraid another verse would create too much energy for me to become level.
What's a fake French accent? It's when you speak like this, when you talk about it in these terms, and you understand what the quality of can be. I do not understand, but it speaks something like this.
Any French accent of somewhere that is not a native French speaker. My outrageous French accent. Tekanjia, hello. You are good here with good timing, my friend. I am speaking here about my French accent. Yay, DRM free. Welcome in, Kinesio. Can we get some DRM free GOG power emotes, guys? Thanks, Kinesio. Appreciate it. Thank you for the sub. Hello to all who has joined the False Frenchie. Have it on tonight. Alright. I apologize, by the way, to all the actual French speakers, such as Tekanjia, for whom I have just, been horrifically not impressive.
Ready.
With my accent. That's French, uh-huh. Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's a critical hit. Visibly hurting now. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we got it. Booyah! With a fragment of the sorrow. Yeah, it's cool stuff, Brokai, or Brosai. With the fragment of the sorrow gone, you feel new connections being made in your mind. It's as though the sorrow itself were keeping you from your full potential. Oh, well done. We are in your debt multiple times now. In his debt? It's his fault we're trapped here in the first place, by my count. Hey, what's going on?
Intriguing. We are no longer tolerated to this place. Our consciousness, our founding a more suitable location.
Do you need to have a fake French accent to get the fake French Foreign Legion? I wish to go to the Foreign Legion. It's important to speak about that. Also to have a general sense of distaste. Mes amis. Although anyone who watched my playthrough, who's been watching my playthrough with my voiceover team, anyone who's been watching the playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations, we're in the middle of that game. If you're familiar with it, there's a character called Jean Armstrong, who's a French chef. And the guy who did the voice work, Trendane Sparks, who's a tremendous voice actor, it's a very different kind of different kind of accent, I'll just say that. I can feel the pull as though my memories are being sifted for material to create something new. What does that mean? Are we dying? Are we free?
Neither, I think. It means this place of the mental construct is not ours. Not truly.
Grenouille. Or is it Grenouille? Grenouille.
We are being drawn to some place that is.
Farewell, friend brother. I don't know if we will meet again, but until...
Yes.
Alright. You bought this game yesterday? Nice. Get ready for a long play ahead of you, bro. There's a lot in this game. It's quite a bit here.
Remember that.
He looks worldly to a different corner of the calm. A new portal has appeared where there was only empty space before. Nice. There and there. Defeating that first fragment opened up the way, but there are a lot of them in there. They're feeding on your mind. It's probably better to get rid of them, but I don't know if you can. You'll have to be strong. Stronger than you are now, I bet. Okay, so... That's interesting. So I don't know whether I should go to this fragment. One of the things about this game, and I've mentioned this before, is that if you enjoy sort of like having a logical progression from point A to point B, games like this game is not going to work for that. It's a game that is sort of, it really rewards, I would say, a kind of focus on... It's a game which you just kind of have to just let it just go with it, you know, kind of go with the strangeness of the world. And some people are not going to be comfortable with that because there are times when you're like, why the hell am I in this random place in my mind with these three people? And I mean, I honestly, it took me a while to remember who the hell those three people were or why they were important, because you get just a metric ton of weird NPCs thrown at you and stuff like that. So you just kind of have to deal. I think in other kinds of games that would become annoying, but you can use environmental means. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Let's do it then. And remind me, if we have time, Descalti, because at the top of the hour I have to give way to Chrono Wolf. So remind me to try to take on, to get back to a deal with the murder thing. As your body pours from the portal, like your body does, an ad hoc laboratory comes into view. Yeah, exactly, Dizzy. And sometimes I do too. But
In this case, though, I don't like vagueness when the vagueness... I don't like vagueness in an adventure game, for instance, when the vagueness makes it difficult for you to play the game. Like, where they're vague about the way you do things, and then you need to do those things to get anywhere. I don't mind it as much when the vagueness doesn't really hurt you. You know, like, you can just play this game, and you just play it, and you're just there, and it doesn't really matter if you don't get everything in its right logical order, you know? So that's part of it. Irregular catwalks connect several platforms, each littered with dusty machines, tools, and displays. In the center of each platform stands a strong glass tank glowing like the orbs. Oh, man. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. In the center of each platform stands a strong glass tank glowing like the orbs from the dark fathom you were born in. You have a feeling that, like the orbs, those tanks contain your memories. Each tank is connected to a machine on the same platform. Caustic black ichor. Whenever I say ichor, I want to say ichor. Sputters from all but the nearest of the glowing tanks, keeping you from seeing or even feeling what lies inside. The oily film on the nearest machine pauses, almost as if it's noticed your presence. It begins to drain from the device. As the black sludge coalesces, you recognize it as a fragment of the sorrow, stronger from feeding on your subconscious all this time. Because the fragments have been feeding on your tidal energy, you sense that they are bound to you, at least for now. You may be able to use the machines in this place to manipulate them. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't call the reflections to aid me. Oh, this is interesting. This was the original prologue. The original, like, demo or the beta or whatever was like this. Oh, man. Crap, I have to remember how I did this, though. Okay, control mechanism. Yeah, that, because I was wondering about that a little bit, and I was like, why? Let's see. So I'll bet I can only do one at a time, probably, right? Okay, so there's a sorrow fragment in the tank. So I need to kind of attract his attention. Gots to have the huge streamer intro. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's exactly right. Oh, was Bro also one of those? Oh, God. Come on, man. Why don't you go play a game or have fun or relax instead of... Jeez. Jeez. I don't know what to do these guys. I guess what I should be doing, actually, is trying to attract his attention. I think that's what I should actually be doing. So, I'm going to run here and attract your attention. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right, Disculty. It's interesting because it was a very different kind of thing. There we go.
All right, here I go.
All I'm basically trying to do is basically just distract it. That's more or less what I'm trying to do. Okay. That's what I thought. What? Charge up and then immediately... Alright. Oh, you have a huge stream. Oh, so you like do when he comes in, you have a big streamer intro? That's cool, X5. Sure, sure. I actually think there was someone else I know who did that. I was trying to remember. There was somebody else that that does. Is it? It's not Grainwald. Is it Heimdall Plays? It might be Heimdall Plays, who always does this big introduction, like it's almost like introducing a boxer, like in the left ring, you know, weighing in at blah blah blah. It is Heimdall Plays. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I don't know what to do. I guess I can attack him, but... Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move you over here, because I want you to try to... I'm just gonna back you up from here.
Here I go.
Oh. Well...
Doing begets learning, I guess.
What? I don't understand. What just happened there? Why was it able to leave? Oh my god. Mayor, Senator, Governor, President Darth Sisuberg, Cronaville, and armed cat Zillaville returns. Only so much taxes to deal with. Treasury to embezzle, bribes to give, power to take and use. Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on there. No, that is Outstar's new job as the politician she's become. Our Chrono Wolf will come and make our city shine and be at its finest, making sure the Outstar hospitals, yes, she's both politic and directs all hospitals and cities, are hygienic and clean. 8-bit armaments, obeying the law, and gun manufacturing. Police Commissioner Kilgore and his deputy Armcat to police the cities. Are we able to handle the disasters that Fleos will disperse and the aliens will throw at our Chrono Wolf? We will see. Chrono Wolf with SimCity 2K and 3K and 4K is up and online. Oh, nice. That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny, X5. I like it. I totally dig it. So I don't... Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. I don't understand what's going on here then, I guess, because I thought that it would be trapped by that. So I'm totally confused. Should I be trying to kill it, or should I be trying to trap it? I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't... Okay.
All right, Ren, you can do this.
Alright, I'll bring them all into the Sorrow Pulse then, I guess.
Of course.
Crap. The stun pulse is quicker. I just don't understand what it's doing. So I don't understand. What is this doing right now? Like, is that going to eventually pull it into the tank if I don't do anything? Do I need to do something to it? I don't understand what's going on with this. Except that I know that I waited too long and now there's another Sorrow Fragment out. So like what is... I don't understand what I'm doing here. Do I have to weaken it before it'll get pulled into the tank? Like what? I don't... But I mean, what is the tank doing now? I thought that it was drawing in the Sorrow Fragment. Exactly. I thought it was drawing in the Sorrow Fragment. Because I don't want to leave this and waste this action. So, I mean, if I need to return to normal, I will, but I just don't understand what it's doing. I thought that this was going to help trap it or attract it to the tank or something. So, should I return to normal and... Alright, well...
Missed.
Yeah, Juicy Gazer, if this continues, you're gonna get IP banned. So I recommend you stop. Please go have fun somewhere else. We're not gonna take any notice of it anymore. You're just gonna get repeatedly banned, and then you'll be IP banned next. So please stop. Fire off the stun pulse, but like, all right.
That's the stuff. If you're sure it's safe. All right, Ren. You can do
Yeah, I
it.
assumed. I don't know.
Damn, we don't have time for this.
This is not going well.
Go.
Hey, I don't have enough stuff yet.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way? This isn't doing very much.
Okay, so they're there.
Really hurts. Can any of your weird stuff help with that?
This is bad. All right, I really hope this does something. Ow. This is, yeah, I know, but what? Okay, what did that do? So are these now dead? If they are now dead. Oh, alright, okay. They are now dead. Right. Alright, so we got two of them. Alright, that's good.
I can breathe again.
Okay. Alright, so that's two of them. There's three left to go. I don't know. This is going to be rough since I only just figured that out. Okay, let's get down here. So the trapping is not doing anything, so... Okay, I hit. That's good. Right. I figured I couldn't use elbow anymore. This is going to hurt, probably. Wow. That was lucky. Alright.
Yes. Now.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I guess I could. Yeah, but I don't want to take the time to go all the way back over there. This thing's probably gonna kill. What? What? Come on. The hell was that?
Fine.
No longer functions. Well, crap. God bless America. That's... Alright, well... Well, that sucks. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I can do that? Wow. Okay. I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the yellow tank, but... Alright. Follow me! Okay. Alright. Don't die, don't die, don't die.
What's
Ouch.
happening to me?
Okay, don't hit me. Don't hit me. This.
I feel terrible.
Ooh, I'm in big trouble unless this thing works.
I need help.
Okay. Should be able to use...
Oh, I can breathe again.
Yes! Okay, we got one left. Okay, see you, Greenwald. Alrighty. Nice. Okay, so there's one remaining. Where's the last one? I might be able to take him on normally, actually. Okay. I need to... Okay. That's where the tank is. Alright, let me get myself healed up one more time.
Much better.
Okay, now...
Yes. Now.
Can I use my speed thing? I'm only doing this so I can get down there quickly. What are we doing on time? Okay, should be okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Begin charging. Okay, now... She killed me, it's alright. She did what she needed to do. Let's see.
I'm going.
Hopefully that should be enough to keep me alive for this turn. Boom! Got it. That was close, but I got it. With the last of the sorrow fragments neutralized, you feel a cool breeze flow through you, mind and body. Your muscles tense with dexterity and strength you hadn't felt before, and your mind flows gracefully from thought to thought, exploring possibilities and sensations more quickly than ever before. Gradually, you became aware of a shadow in your mind. Yeah, exactly, TX. The sorrow still has one stronghold. Yes, somewhere in the labyrinth. You've almost driven it out entirely, but not yet. Yeah, about the murder.
Ready.
Lost in the scent of her hair, the taste of her mouth, the feel of her skin. You stumble against the door and fumble with the lock, unwilling to break contact with this remarkable, beautiful, wonderful woman. Even before you manage to wrestle the door open, you're already shrugging out of your clothes. Once inside, the rest of your clothes disappear as if by magic. The city outside is noisy, but you can't hear the din of the market as you focus on her breath, her eyes, her body, and the day vanishes like your clothes. Eventually, hours later, night falls and the two of you collapse under the ruined bed. She drifts off to sleep, whispering in your ear of what you could accomplish together. As her contented breathing warms your chest, you reflect. This will be the last one I'll do for today. You never expected Salamari to be like this when you sought her out. You intended only to take advantage of her position and her expertise, but she's become so much more in such a short time. She makes you reconsider everything you've been striving toward for all these years. Gods, you don't remember feeling love like this for anyone since... No. Another memory swells and it reminds you of your goal. What you want in this moment can't distract you from the centuries you have spent building this life. You stroke Salamari's hair and the tides trickle from you into her dreams. You break her love for you, turning it back to the work you discussed. You refocus her mind and rebuild her affection. You don't want to lose this, but you can't cast off your ambition. You lie in bed, waiting for her to wake for the work to start again. A single tear wells in your eye. You dash it away. Interesting. Okay, I'm just going to go here so that I remember next time that this is what I need to do. When we start next time, I'm going to look at these tanks. Then I'm going to leave. And then I'm going to go take care of that murder situation will be next. Thanks, Blurp. So, let us save here. We actually did get some things, we did manage to get some things done, which is good. Okay. And there we go. All right. So we did get some things done, guys, and we managed to, actually, I didn't think we were going to win that fight, but we pulled it out. Not by a lot, but just by the hair of our chinny chin chin, so to speak. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for watching the stream. I appreciate it. I'm going to give way now to Chrono Wolf, who is going to be playing SimCity 2K, 3K, and 4K all at the same time. I really don't think that he's really gonna have proven his awesomeness until you've just got lines of SimCities. Like once he's got just a whole array of SimCities, then I think we'll actually have it. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and you guys are awesome. I will see you guys next week on this channel, episode 81 of Pen and Pixels, as we continue our Torment playthrough. Or I will see you before that on my channel. On Thursday, I'm going to have a special stream streaming Crypt of the Sorcerer with live illustration by Terry Tunes. We were supposed to do that today, but I ended up having some tech problems, so we ended up rescheduling it to Thursday, so that will be cool. And then over the weekend, I may be doing that as well. Next week will be ARVCon, and I'll announce this again next week. But again, ARVCon, which is our charity convention to benefit the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, that will be happening next week on my channel starting on Friday, so a week from this Friday. A lot of special guests, special open legend event, musical guests, voiceover, D&D, a whole bunch of stuff. So definitely stop by and check it out because there'll be good stuff. Exactly. Chrono Wolf won't stop until the setup looks like the architect from the second Matrix movie. But if you guys like what you saw and heard, please follow the channel. Please subscribe to GGCom. Please check out all of our wonderful streamers, and please check us out individually as well, because we've got Patreons and subsystems and all that kind of good stuff. And most of all, you continue being you, wonderful people. Thanks, everybody. You guys are great, and I will catch all of you wonderful people either next Tuesday or on my channel before that. Until then, thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
jingle